From the Darien High School baseball field in Darien, Connecticut, it's an FCAC clash between the Westhill Vikings and the Darien Blue Wave here on this Monday afternoon. And hi, everybody. Joined alongside Austin Kippett. I'm Braden Shank. So glad you can be with us here for truly this great contest between two great programs, Austin. The Vikings 1-4 this year, the Blue Wave 5-1. And Darien, this is a different team, Austin. They went 4-13, 4-16 all of last year, but they've already had a better season this year, 5-1. What has gone right for Mike Scott's Blue Wave?
Honestly, just about everything. They're hitting, they're pitching, they're doing everything that they need to do. You got big guys like Kevin Bach, you got Jack Cunningham coming in the clutch when they need innings. And hitting-wise, Tommy Karczewski, all these young guys with so much talent have been putting the bat to the ball and just making contact. And when they make contact, it's not just basic contact. They're getting it into the gaps, into the outfield, easy doubles, triples all day.
And Darien, they're huddling up. Westhill getting ready on the near side again. Darien, they're undefeated at home this year, 4-0. They took down Wilbur Cross. They took down New Fairfield. They took down Sheehan and Stratford en route to their 4-0 home stretch. But we're going to be treated to a great starting pitching matchup here today. And it's Jack Cunningham for the Blue Wave going up against Eric Osterhaus for the Westhill Vikings. You see right there your starting pitcher comparison. The Fordham commit Osterhaus against the Ithaca commit Jack Cunningham. Kippett, what are we going to see?
I know a little bit about Jack Cunningham as I've caught him in bullpens, I've caught him in games, practices, and his stuff, it may not be on the numbers as high velocity compared to these other guys, but I'll tell you what, it definitely comes in fast on the batter. He's got a nice four-seam, two-seam combo that he's going to be looking to work with today. Never know what he can do. Sometimes he can just relay that magic right into Jack Nee's glove. And this season, it's been a lot of Jack Cunningham magic.
You see it right there. Jack Cunningham, 7 innings pitched this year, the 2-0 record on the mound. He has not given up a hit yet this season, Austin Kippett. He has thrown 2 great outings against the Wilbur Cross Governors and the Sheehan Titans. So Cunningham's off to a great start here today. And now we're going to take a look at the Westhill lineup here and this Vikings team that are going to look to get some hits off Jack Cunningham this afternoon. And you see him right there coming up on your screen. John Sanchez bats first. Kieran Hackett, the shortstop, at number 2. Jorge Hitlin batting third. And moving it along, Nico Christensen, the left fielder. Armando Quito, the center fielder. Jake Sulfur, the third baseman, batting in the 6th spot. Lance Bush, the catcher, batting in the 7-hole. And the 8-hole, Nico Serradaris, the designated hitter. And then the 9th batter, Danny Catuzzo. This is a Westhill lineup, Kippett, that is solid up and down for 9 straight guys. And they have Osterhaus on the mound.
Without a doubt, and they also have guys like Kyle Kipp that he has that talent, and also, once again, another guy that I've played with. And I've also caught him as well, so I have a decent bit of catching experience with these guys, no matter what team they are on. But Kyle Kipp, definitely very powerful pitcher when he's on the mound. Big frame, and he can definitely locate for sure.
Now John Sanchez will step into the batter's box for our first batter in this afternoon's contest. Sanchez, the second baseman.
Very lively from this Westhill team.
Cunningham comes set, and we are underway. Call the strike, first pitch time, 4:07 Eastern Standard Time. A good first pitch strike for Jack Cunningham. That's really where he makes his money right there. 56.7% first pitch strikes this year, and he's a lethal pitcher once he gets those. Ball just outside, wide to the backstop. Now Jack Nee will retreat it. Jack Nee, the first-year starting catcher for this Darien team. They had Davis Biazzi last year. He went down with an injury in which the sophomore at the time, Jamie Buckjune, stepped up, picked up the starting position. Buckjune got moved to the backup once the sophomore Jack Nee got called up to this varsity team, and Nee has done a great job at that. Check swing, and Sanchez did not go.
About Jack Nee, he makes every block that you can make as a catcher. He's got a very strong and accurate arm. He can back pick to first, pick off, anything. It's amazing. Honestly, this kid, he's special, and his talent will carry him to the varsity level
Line
next
drive
year and this year.
Into the outfield, and Sanchez has the first hit in the contest. It goes to center. Sabilio fields it. Sanchez thinks about going to second, just rounds it and stays at first. A good way to get started for the Westhill leadoff hitter, and the Vikings have a runner on first, 1 batter in.
That's what you call the announcer curse. You bring up the no hits, and Jack Cunningham, first batter, lets a line drive into the gap of left center field.
So that's the first hit that Cunningham has given up this season. And now this brings up the lefty Kieran Hackett, the shortstop. Hackett, a left-handed batter, throws right-handed, however. Now Cunningham checks over on the runner at first. Cunningham delivers. Ground ball. Alini fields it at first, steps on first, throws over to second. Just wide of Zawacki. That ball goes into left fields. Cunningham comes over to cover. Dylan Alini does get the out at first. The 3U, however, he does throw it into left field. Sanchez does not advance.
Unfortunately, in situations like those, you can obviously get that one out, but getting that lead runner would have been crucial, and even turning the double play would have been more impactful for this team. But Jack Cunningham, very strong pitcher, looking to continue his powerhouse of pitches right down the zone.
Third batter for the Vikings this afternoon, Jorge Hitlin, the first baseman. Solid left-handed bat for the Vikings this year. Hitlin, he went 2 for 4 with a 2 RBI double in the opening day win against the Hull Titans. That was Westhill's only victory of the season. They took down Hull 5-4. They've lost their last 4 contests to Glastonbury, Richfield, Joel Barlow, and Trumbull. So Westhill team looking to get back into the win column, something they've not seen since April 3rd of this year. Cunningham comes set at the belts and deals. And shoelace check on Hitlin. Moves the count to 1-1.
One thing that Jack Cunningham has to watch out for is his walk total. That's definitely been killing his pitching whenever he does dominate on the mound. Just needs to find a way to limit the amount of walks and balls that are thrown during at-bats.
Again, Jack Cunningham, a pitcher that throws heat, can get the strikeout. However, a total of 9 walks have riddled Cunningham in his 2 starts this year. So that's something he's going to have to watch, especially as this game progresses and we see a trend later on.
Majority of those also coming from a 3-2 count.
Oh, interesting.
Losing the batter, tough feeling for sure.
1-1 the count. Cunningham comes set and delivers from the stretch. And a swing and a miss from the big Jorge Hitlin. Hitlin likes to swing that bat, and with a runner in scoring position on second base, you would like to try to keep him moving. And that's what the left-handed hitter will do.
Ball to second, that easily moves the runner, and honestly, you see that a lot with a lefty batter, especially with a lot of power.
Cunningham checks on Sanchez in second. And he takes the pivot move off. You can see the mind games being played early from John Sanchez and Jack Cunningham. You want to keep a tight grip on him, but again, you want to focus on the hitter at hand. Just low. In the dirt, scooped up by Jack Nee.
When you find yourself not focusing on the batter that's at the plate and you're focusing on that runner, that's when pitchers typically find themselves in trouble. So hopefully Jack can lock it down and focus on the batter here.
2-2 the count. 1 out in the inning. Cunningham looking to set down Hitlin. Just outside. He does not bite.
Another 3-2 count. This is where it bites him. He's got to find that spot.
Full count pitch. Awaiting the 3-hole hitter, Jorge Hitlin. Sanchez leads off second. Cunningham checks right back on him. And goes back. And now again, this is where, if this was Major League Baseball, you wouldn't be able to do that anymore. Only one pickoff with a guy on second now, the pitch clock, many of the other changes that it's just a matter of time before they come to the high school game, right?
You never know. Technology, man.
Cunningham gets him swinging. Jorge went fishing, comes up empty, and Jack Cunningham's got his first K of the contest.
With that technology, you got to think, how long is it until we have electronic umpires?
Not in the high school game, you wouldn't have those just yet.
You never know. 2050, you see yourself finding, just announcing a game, and it's just automatic strike zone.
So 2 outs in the inning now. This brings up Nico Kristen. Ball just in the dirt. Kristen, the junior left fielder today for the Vikings. He's also a pitcher for Westhill, although I don't think we'll see him. He's not starting. We might see him out of the bullpen, however. Depends how this game goes. First pitch was a ball. Called strike at the knees. Good frame by the sophomore Jack Nee. And that's really where a good catcher comes into play. They can make that catch, frame it, and get a call, especially one that might be just a bit low.
It's kind of like you're catching an egg. If you're catching that egg, you kind of want to give it some give, but you got to be stiff with it.
In the dirt, Nee goes to retrieve it. 2-1 the count now. Cunningham looking to settle in.
Realize how nothing's getting past Nee here. Runner on second. He knows that nothing gets by him here, and he just has to protect.
Cunningham the delivery. Ball just low.
3-1 now.
Not a bad spot to try and get a swing. He's been hitting his low spots all day, and it's really where he finds his accuracy.
Especially Cunningham settled in the last 2 batters, got the 3U and the strikeout. Now Cunningham the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Sanchez will advance to third on the wild pitch. And the Vikings now have runners on the corners.
And we call that the announcer's curse.
Is that the second time?
Yeah. First with the base hit after he lets up no hits, and then I compliment knee and pass ball.
Jack Nee will come out to call the play as Armando Quito will step in, the sophomore outfielder playing center today. Armando, a returning player on this Westhill team.
He's also got the very nice stirrups, purple and yellow. Don't mind it, Viking colors.
Oh, okay. I will say it's definitely an interesting combination. They went with the purple and the yellow, of course, the school's colors, but they went decked out with them, the batting helmets, the stocks, the pinstripes. I mean, it looks like one of those MLB The Show jerseys in Diamond Dynasty.
They
with all the
really
different
got
colors.
everything. It's magic, honestly.
Darien, of course, in the home whites, reading Darien across the chest. The home jerseys for a while now. Cunningham checks on the runner. Going off to second is Kristen. And he lets him take the base with ease. A stolen base for Kristen. And now the Vikings have 2 ducks on the pond.
Yeah, as a catcher, you're taught to not throw down there because you know if you have a runner on third, they might just take the base from you, and then now it's a 1-0 game.
Ball just low. Cunningham again looking low on the zone. Not able to find it.
Cunningham knows he has to hit a spot here.
2-1 count on Quito. Ball inside. And now you can tell the zone stiffening up for Armando. 3-1, a hitter's count right here.
As a hitter, you got to look for something to drive the other way, score both of the runners.
The 3-1 pitch. Called strike. Quito's thought about heading down to first. Instead, the umpire keeps him here.
Well placed by Cunningham, obviously a good spot. As a batter, it's definitely tough to tell whether it's a strike or ball sometimes, but end of the day, it's the umpire's call.
Quito digs back in. Cunningham, the full count pitch, and ball 4 just low. A pair of walks handed out by Cunningham, loads the bases up for the 6-hole hitter, Jake Seffer.
That's the 3-2 count where he loses the batter. He has him on the hook, and that fish gets free.
Merritt Hole will start getting loose in the Darien bullpen. Hole, the Darien junior. Cunningham. Ball just low. The catcher, Bush, stands on deck. But again, Cunningham focused on the batter right now, looking to get out of this first inning. Definitely faced some early adversity. Cunningham steps off Jack Nee, and the pitching coach, John Michelli, will come out, take his first mound visit. And Austin, if you were pitching coach John Michelli, what are you telling Cunningham in this situation?
Personally, based on that, I know John pretty well, and John Cunningham, also known as Jack, obviously. I would just try to lighten him up, tell him something funny, try to make it not the situation that it actually is. Just have him know that it's 2 outs. He just needs to get 1 here. Any base, doesn't matter. Have him put the ball in play. Jack Cunningham knows that he has the stuff to do that.
So Cunningham will regroup here. The 1-0 count awaits the 6-hole hitter, Safer. My apologies. Third baseman for the Vikings. Senior on this Westhill team, looking to bring home the first runs of the contest. Called strike at the knees. And you can tell the pitching coach heroics work for John Michelli right there as Cunningham throws a strike, evening the count at 1-1.
He's a lot of experience. He's been teaching these kids since they were honestly 7th graders, 6th graders on just mechanics of pitching.
Ball at the shoelaces once again. You could definitely tell Cunningham's aiming low. He knows these are dangerous hitters, and he doesn't want to leave anything over the heart of the plate.
For sure, and honestly, if you leave something high, even if it's over the zone, they can still piece it, and that's when that ball carries.
2-1 count. Ball 3 in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bases are loaded here in the top of the first.
This West Hill team in the dugout, it's honestly sounding like a crowd. Might be rattling Jack Cunningham, but let's see. 3-1 count.
A 3-1 pitch. Cunningham deals. In play, grounder. Zawacki onto his brother, and it's just wide into center field. Coming home and scoring is Kristen. The Vikings go up 2-0. A grounder to the shortstop, Leo Zawacki. Can't make the throw on it, and Westhill scores 2 off of it to go up 2-0 here in the top of the first.
I mean, you let up a leadoff hit, and then you walk 2. You're due for some danger, no matter how many outs you have. You're lucky to get yourself out of that with 2-3 runs scored. Honestly, especially with a powerhouse team that can hit like this.
So the E6 is what is credited. And depending on how this inning goes, actually doesn't really matter. Cunningham still has not given up an earned run yet this year. It was both coming unearned due to the error.
Very true.
So his ERA is still perfect, although you want to be up in the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. But he definitely trusts his guys to get him on the board.
Cunningham now pitching from behind, just low on the catcher. That's Lance Allswanger-Bush, the returning player on this West Hill team, the Manhattanville College commit.
Do you think the pressure of DAF being here is weighing on Jack Cunningham's mind?
It might. Darien Baseball went 0-3 on the DAF Media Network last year, so they definitely don't have the best record when we broadcast them. Again, especially a team that's been so dominant this year. Darien, their one loss came to Stratford when they lost by 1 run, and then they avenged that loss to the Devils by mercy ruling Stratford 11-1 a week later. So it's a team that is definitely one of the strongest in Blue Wave baseball history, and it's rare to see some early adversity. Cunningham just low, a good block from Jack Nee, although the count moves to 3-0.
He was finding his locations a little bit more early on. Now 3-0 count, 2 outs. He's obviously got a base open, no one would score. But you don't want to bring a runner onto third, obviously.
Ball 4 low, a 4-pitch walk to Lance Allswanger-Bush. And Allswanger-Bush reaches first, now bringing up the 8th hitter in the inning. Not before Jack Nee, and Mike Scott will come out and signal the hand. Merritt Hole will come out of the bullpen, so Jack Cunningham cannot get out of the first inning. And just like that, Darien will now turn the ball over to Merritt Hole. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network, and we'll tell you more about Merritt when we return. New pitcher to tell you about for the Darien side, and it will be Merritt Hole, number 34. Hole coming on in relief for Jack Cunningham, who was unable to get out of the first inning. Merritt, two
2 2/3 innings pitched this year. 0-0 record out there, but again, he's a solid pitcher. He throws hard, and he's looking to come out of the bullpen and get Darien back in this game.
Very, very young, too. He's looking to show his talent. He needs to show this talent to not just the team, but also the coaches, Coach Scott, Coach Michelli, because he wants to be here for the next couple of years, and he wants to be able to dominate as well. As a starting pitcher, you need to find that way to dominate, and sometimes you got to start from the relieving spot.
Sadoridi stepping in for the Vikings. First pitch called strike at the knees. And Austin, going back on Jack Cunningham, what do you think went wrong for Jack out on the mound this afternoon?
I mean, for starters, yeah, we're out here commentating the game. We have the whole crew out here, minus Damien. Happy birthday, late happy birthday to Damien. But just honestly, pressure of that, and also pressure of facing another high-caliber team that he knows that can touch the ball, and they can honestly send it flying. And when you get yourself in a 3-2 count, you're racking up all these pitches, and when you rack up these pitches, the arm gets fatigued. So could be a little bit of fatigue as well from Jack Cunningham.
Les Hull will look to work out of it. A grounder tripped up the third base line, and that's a foul ball.
Picked up by Will Smosky. Turn right back to Merritt.
Merritt Hull, he entered in the game at Stratford, went a 2/3 innings, and his big game came against Norwalk on Saturday, where he went 2 innings against the Bears and picked up the save in that contest. So Merritt Hull definitely has some experience to him out here again, and he was a solid part of Darien's program last year.
Without a doubt, as a freshman, he was dominating with that whole team. They went undefeated.
0-2, blocked off the chest protector of Jack Nee. Now it moves it to 2-2.
Looking to dominate. That's what he needs to do. 2-2 count. He's got a ball to give, and he's got 2 outs already in this inning. He needs to find that spot, hit the corner.
Line drive, and that gets through into the outfield. Quito scores. Safir heading for home. Up with ease, it's 4-0 Vikings. A 2 RBI single off the back of Nico Serradides. And the Vikings got going early.
Without a doubt, honestly, that's been the loudest ball we've heard all day, and obviously it's only the first inning. 2 hits so far from this Westhill team with the stroke of walks, but very well pieced. Definitely could be a double in some situations, but take a single any day of the week.
The last 3 batters for Westhill have all brought in runs. That's a called strike to Danny Gattuso. This is the 9th and final Westhill Vikings to come to the plate in this first inning. And talk about some insurance. Eric Osterhaus hasn't thrown a single pitch, Austin Kippett, but he's up 4-0.
It's always nice when you're a starting pitcher and you get to come in with a lead, because that doesn't happen too often. So just got to take what you can get.
That ball is low.
Some starts you may get, obviously, a 0-run lead, and then maybe he goes down in some situations. But today's different, up 4-0, and possibly more with this inning to come with a runner on first and second.
Hole with the delivery. Fouls that one off.
Right into the dugout. Those are one of the ones where you got to be like heads up and just no one moves. You don't even react. You don't have enough time to react, and then it just finds a way to hit you sometimes.
That was a good snag by head coach Mike Scott. Now in his 14th season atop the Wave. Hole with the delivery. Swinging in the dirt. Throws it over to first, and Alini can't get there. Scoring on it is number 10, Lance Bush. And another error against the Wave. Makes it 5-0.
Little miscommunication there from Jack and Dylan, as Dylan was set up on the inside, yet Jack was throwing it from the outside. From a catcher's perspective, catcher's got to call out outside, but if Dylan didn't hear him and he called out outside, then Dylan's to blame. But if not, then obviously Jack's fault there. But did hit the glove. If it hits the glove, you got to catch it.
So 5 Westhill Vikings have now scored, and Darien has not even put a bat in their hands yet. All off of only 2 hits. Hull will step off.
That's the danger of walks. You can let up 2 hits, and if you walk a few guys, you could find yourself down 5-0 in the first.
Line drive into left center. And that one is caught by the center fielder, Luke Sibilio. So finally, the just terrible top first inning from Darien, and they will now put the bats in their hands, look to get some runs back as they trail 5-0 after just the top half of the first. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network and be back with the bottom of the first. We're back on the DAF Media Network. The Westhill pitcher taking the bump after nearly 20 minutes, and it's the big-time pitcher of Eric Osterhaus, the senior right-handed pitcher. And he'll be going up against a tough Darien lineup, which consists, I haven't changed all season, Leo Zawacki, Will Smosky, Dylan Olini, Simeon Dahl, Ryan Gerlamo, Tommy Garzewski, Dom Zawacki, Luke Sibilio, and Jack Nee, the starting 9 for the Darien Blue Wave. And Kippet, what do you see in this Darien lineup?
One thing I've seen about this Darien batting lineup is that they find a way to consistently hit. Everything they do, it finds gap, gets through the infield, and even when it doesn't get through the infield, might hit a glove, but they hit it so hard where that fielder cannot field it cleanly and get through to first in time or accurately.
So now Leo Zawacki will get ready here, looking to get some runs for Darien. They trail 5-0 here in the bottom of the first. And Jack Cunningham's day did not go great. He got 2 outs, but he gave up 5 runs. However, I don't believe any of them are earned against him, considering there was that error at shortstop. That would have been the 3rd out if it was made. Instead, it was not, and all 5 runs scored. So Cunningham's day's done. Merritt Hull will now look to keep Darien in it, but first Zawacki comes to bats. And he's got a tough task hitting the good Eric Osterhaus.
The younger of the brothers.
Called strike 1. And Osterhaus works quick. He's going to look to be off here as quick as possible, get back in that dugout. Again, there's a reason he's going to Fordham to pitch for the Rams next year. And it's for his ability to pitch in tough situations. Kind of a half swing going down the first base line. That was Hitland coming over, but it's a foul ball, moving it to 0-2.
From Osterhaus, it's not even just situational pitching. It's understanding that your team's bat is hot, and you want to get that bat back out there, and you want to see if they can put up more runs. So he's going to try and work quick and get through this inning.
Zawacki foul tip into the catcher's glove of Bush, and there's 1 down. So 3 pitches and 1 out for the big right-hander Osterhaus.
Now we got the nice, sweet, swinging lefty of Will Smosky here. Beautiful black and gold DeMarini. Goes well with the helmet, just pure matte black. Will Smosky looking to start off Blue Wave.
Smosky, the .312 hitter this season for Darien. Shows bunt and misses on it, but does offer.
Saphir came crashing in on that one.
0-1 on Will Smosky. Called strike at the knees, and Osterhaus is getting in a groove. 5 pitches, 5 strikes.
Will Smosky was not too happy with the call of that pitch, but whatever that ump says, you got to go with it. You got to reset your mentality. He's now in an 0-2 count. He needs to find a way.
A pitch. Ground ball. Coming over is the shortstop, Hackett, and he throws on to the first baseman, Hitland. And there's the second out for Westhill.
Yeah, fielded it cleanly. Nice throw, accurate throw. Darien could use a little bit of that accuracy, but errors happen. We're all human, obviously. And now we have Dylan Alini in the box. Sticks, they call him.
Why do they call him Sticks?
Number 11.
I get it.
It's 2 sticks, man.
Well, he also swings a stick up there. How about a .353 batting average entering play? One of the highest on the team. He's got 6 hits on the season to his name, and he definitely knows how to get the RBIs when they need them.
Dylan and Simeon, they've been the 3-4 combo all season, and just it's honestly just a swing of magic.
Takes a strike at the numbers. 1-1 now.
Well placed. Very well placed from Osterhaus. He's looking to do it again. 1-1 count. And he wants to work a little bit faster maybe. Just get his boys back out here swinging.
Ball just high, and that one had some heat on it.
A lot of velocity on that one.
I know there's no radar gun out here, but we got to start bringing them to these games because that was just straight heat from Osterhaus.
Not sure how many people would be able to touch 90, but if there's one guy, it would be Osterhaus.
Foul ball. Came over to us here down the third base line.
Keeping us awake. After watching that Darien defense, we definitely do need something to keep us awake, but hopefully these bats can get swinging and just make good, solid contact.
And that's something that you give up 5 runs in the field, especially in the early goings. You still have 7 at-bats left. However, you need to get the offense going. You can't go down 1-2-3 and have to find yourself back in the game. The 2-2 count coming from Osterhaus. And the delivery. Line drive into center. And that will get down Dylan Alini. Gets Darien their first hit. It will just be a single, but it keeps him alive to see one more batter this inning.
That's why he's in the 3 spot. Osterhaus comes in and just bang, right off Dylan Alini's bat. Obviously, there's 2 outs, but 2-out rally. Never hurt anyone.
Interesting walk-up song for Simeon Dahl. Is that some Phil Collins?
It is. It is Phil Collins, Air of the Night.
Osterhaus throws back over to first. Alini dives back and is safe.
My personal favorite one, definitely for Dom, Big Papa, B.I.G.
Okay. Definitely good to get into the walk-up songs.
Without a doubt.
Got to see what you have. Osterhaus fires low. Moves the count to 2-0. Darien's looking to now get in Osterhaus's head, especially when you're trailing by 5. I mean, they've only broken 5, and actually they've done it in 4 games this year. Dog swinging a miss on it.
Pretty close to a tomahawk there, but when he makes contact with that tomahawk, it goes far. One of the bigger power bats of the Darien lineup. Looking to get one into the gap or possibly even over the fence.
1-1. Dahl grounds it over on the right side. Fielding it is the second baseman. Sanchez fires on to Hitland. And the Vikings get out of it.
I do have to mention, very good jump from Dylan Alini. Somehow got over that big hop and stops himself from becoming the out, but to no avail. Still 3 outs to the inning.
Darien brings 4 batters up to the plate. They leave one stranded. 5-0 Vikings after 1 on the DAF Media Network. Back on the DAF Media Network, now going to take a look at the Darien defensive alignment this afternoon. And you've got the battery of now Merritt Hole and Jack Nee. And moving it along, Dylan Alini at first, Zawacki at second. The other Zawacki at short, Sposky at third. Karzewski, Sibilio, and Gerlamo man in the outfield. Again, Jack Cunningham was our starting pitcher. He did not get out of the first inning, and instead it basically turned the duties over to Merritt Hole, the pitcher on this Darien team.
One thing I love about this defense is the middle infield. You got two brothers together. Got to think, what connection do they have at the middle infield? They obviously know each other better than anyone. And they look very similar. So sometimes when they're in the field, it's hard to tell the difference between Dom and Leo.
Ground ball right up the middle. Diving for it, but not able to get there is Leo Zawacki. That's a single for Kieran Hackett, and the Vikings are right back surging on the offense. I mean, talk about continuing where you left off. The Vikings brought all 9 hitters up to the plate in the first inning, and now Hackett gets on his first at-bat of the inning.
That's why when you're pitching and your team has the hot bat, it's honestly burning at this point. You just got to get them back out there and just have them continue swinging. Something's obviously working for them.
Ball in the dirt, Nee blocks it as Hackett retrieves to first.
Another spectacular block from Jack Nee. I know he let one by him before, but scored as a wild pitch out of his control. He's looking to maybe possibly throw out that runner if he goes.
Hole fouls that one off. And that's what Cunningham was looking for, to get a hitter to chase low. Hitland chases there, moving the count to 1-1. Again, Jorge, he went down swinging in the first inning.
Not a bad way to go out. Better than looking for sure. I've been in that box a lot and definitely have struck out looking. Not a good feeling.
Off for second is Hackett, the hit and run, and that is over Zawacki's head. Hitland will reach first. Hackett comes all the way to third, and Hitland goes to second standing up. Jorge Hitton gets to second, and the Vikings now have second and third, 2 batters into the second.
It's almost a perfect hit and run. That's what you look to do every time. With the runner on first, you're going to get that second base and shortstop combo move towards second to try and cover and back up the steal whenever they can. Jack Nee, not an awful throw, but couldn't throw it, unfortunately. So obviously, he got the good arm, but no chance to show it yet.
Nico Kristen back in the batter's box. This will be batter number 14 for the Vikings today.
And you say that number 14. That number 14, it's honestly astonishing. We're only in the second inning, yet they've had that many guys up at bat.
Actually, just 13.
Hey,
Gonna make that small correction.
Still a high number. Still a high number, without a doubt.
Hole delivers, gets the call at the belt. And Owen Tyler starts to get loose in the Darien bullpen. Another Darien junior that has seen some innings this year. He's warming up with Dash Ross, so Darien might be on their third pitcher potentially early in this contest.
Never know. Merritt, definitely he can go the innings.
Hole just low, and Darien's just not been able to find the strike zone all afternoon, it feels like.
Yeah, just pitch after pitch. I feel like pitchers get down in the count, and then it's kind of hard to pick yourself back up out of that deep grave that they just ended up digging each at bat.
Hole gets the sign, 2-1 pitch. 3-1.
Something's asking me where that was, but must have been outside.
So Hole throws the pitch, gets the 3-1 count on it, and now Kristen digs back in. Taking a big lead over at second is Hitland. And ball 4.
Unfortunate for Merritt Hole there. Another walk for this Darien bullpen and pitching rotation.
That's the 4th walk that Darien has let up. And a team that has kept those pretty much under control from the pitching staff. One of the lower amounts of actually 26 through the first 6 games. Now Armando Quito looking to do some more damage. Swing and a miss just behind that one. And there is still no outs in this second inning.
But all it takes is one play, bases loaded. Makes it the easiest way to get a triple play.
I don't think you should get too ahead of yourself.
Hard ground ball to third. You don't know. Will Smosky? But they're definitely looking to go home with this ball here. So
The infield is playing in. The two Zawacki's, Alini and Smosky, all coming in. So you can tell they're going to fire on a knee at home if they get the chance. But now it rests in the hands of Quito, who reached first via a walk in the first inning.
Jack Nee also might get the chance to throw it down to first.
Called strike.
It's always a great feeling when you have bases loaded, no outs, and you get that ground ball. They throw it to home, and they still have enough time to get the runner at first.
1-2. Hole finds himself ahead. Ground ball over. Some miscommunication on Zawacki Fields. He'll go on to first and get one out of it, but once again, the miscommunication riddles Darien. They didn't know whose ball that was.
One of them's got to take the lead there and just charge the ball and try to make the throw at home because you're already down a grave with 5 runs let up in 2 innings. But now it's 6, 1 outs, 2 runners in scoring position for this Westhill side.
6-0. Westhill leads Darien. All at the socks of Jake Seffer.
A little bit of a side note, I actually went to preschool with Mr. Sophie here. I obviously don't remember much of that, but
It's a weird flex.
they call me Connection Skippy. What can I say?
Ball just off the plates.
Very much so.
Once again, Hole will look to work out of the jam.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's obviously much harder than saying, yeah, he's just got to find his spot, but his mechanics just aren't doing it for him today.
That one into the right field. Garlamo makes the catch. He'll fire home. Alini cuts it off. Goes over to third. The play at third. And he's safe. The ball goes off against the backstop. So the sac fly works to perfection for the Vikings. They make it 7-0. And this Vikings team is showing no sign of weakness.
Not at all. 7-0 game. Just the top of the second inning. And Westhill just showing pure dominance against this Darien team. Merritt Hole looking to get himself out of this hole. 2 outs. He's almost out of it. Definitely much better than the first inning so far, but it ain't over yet.
Lance Bush takes the first pitch for a called strike. Do want to inform the viewers of the mercy rule in these games. It's 10 after 5, I believe. 15 after 4.
I believe so. Something made me want to say 10 after 4, but no, I just combined the two.
I think that's Little League is 10 after 4 when they only play 6 innings.
That would make sense.
Swinging in the dirt for strike 2. And again, they play 7 innings here, so you add the extra inning, push the mercy rules back to the 4th and 5th inning, respectively. But again, double digits, you don't want to find yourself down, especially when the fact that Darien's only brought 4 batters to the plate, and they're down 7-0.
Yeah, Westhill, what are they, quadrupling the batter total so far? But obviously, Darien has not gotten up this second inning, but
Hole fires high, 1-2 now.
Numbers do not lie.
Again, just Darien has struggled to find the strike zone. It's been an afternoon, definitely, of questions for the Darien pitching staff.
Coming into this game, I don't think anyone expected this.
Bush lines it into left field and foul.
I think everyone coming into this game expected a close, tightly knit game, but it's blown wide open in the first inning. Jack Cunningham leadoff hit. And then a pair of walks to follow. A little bit more damage following that. And now here we are, 7-0, top of the second, 2 outs.
1-2 to Bush. He swings high, chasing upstairs, and Merritt Hole gets out of the second inning, but does face some damage. The Vikings scored 2 runs while plating 2 hits, and they lead 7-0 after 1.5 on the DAF Media Network. It'll be Garlamo, Karszewski, and Zawacki when we come back, looking to get Darien back on the board.
And we're back from the DHS Varsity Baseball field, taking a look at the Vikings defensive alignment here in this contest. You see them right there on your screen. You got Osterhaus, the pitcher, Bush behind the plate, Hitlin at first, Sanchez at second, Hackett, Manning short, Safir at third, and then Kristen, Quito, and Gattuso around the outfield for this Vikings team. And a really solid Westhill team when it comes to the defensive end. But so far, the offense have come to play, Austin.
Yeah, you got guys all around the board, honestly. Not one guy over the other. Team effort, being able to do that damage together. Only making 6 outs, but putting up 7 runs. So very successful 2 first innings of at-bats for this Westhill crew.
Ryan Gerlamo will get set in the right-handed batter's box. Gerlamo, the right fielder for Darien. And talk about the most productive hitter on this team. How about that? Right on cue. Lines this one into right field. That's
right
going for the gap. Gerlamo rounds first, heading for second.
He's got speed, and he cuts it off.
And Ryan Gerlamo adds to his total extra base hit number 6 on the season. And Darien's got a leadoff double to start inning number 2.
He's a double and triple machine, honestly. Just wonderful to watch. Great talent. Now we have Tommy Karczewski up.
Tommy Karczewski, the sophomore swinger on this Darien team. He only has 5 hits, but they were all absolute shots off the fence, doubles, 3 doubles, 2 singles to his name, so he can get the extra base hits. And talk about Ryan Gerlamo being efficient. The first pitch he saw from Osterhaus, he lined it into the outfield.
Lined it into the gap, and it did not just line. It was an absolute seam going all the way to the wall. Outfielder makes a good read on it. Was able to stop him at second.
Now Osterhaus will need to work back into it. Karczewski thought about it. He holds off.
One thing about Karczewski, his father actually, he pitched in the minor leagues for multiple teams. So he's obviously got it in the blood. A little bit different than pitching, but definitely has some bloodline in the sport.
Well, he uses the arm for, I think, the quarterbacking in the fall. That's what I've been told.
Without a doubt. I'm pretty sure he will have that starting job when that season comes around.
And Karczewski lines it right back to Osterhaus. He's got the runner. Gerlamo, he throws on a second. And just like that, Karczewski reaches first. Gerlamo came off, fooled Osterhaus. And now Darien's got first and second.
Osterhaus made the mistake of just holding on to the ball for too long. When you have a runner that far off and he's not halfway, you got to get it to the shorter side base where he came from and get him in that rundown. If you don't get him in that rundown, typically that runner gets out of it safe back to the base where they came from. Now this Darien team has first and second, Gerlamo and Karczewski being very successful so far.
Dom Zawacki looking to continue the rally. He's got guys on first and second, throws back to Gerlamo. He's safe. A very sneaky move from the Westhill senior. A bullet pass thrown onto the shortstop, Hackett, who came out of nowhere. Unable to hose the runner at second.
We'll say a little bit confused with the pickoff there because I actually saw one of the coaches come out of the dugout and like show him how to do the pickoff, quick pickoff, and he does it right after it was showed. So
Zawacki takes ball 1 in the dirt. This is Dom Zawacki, not to be confused with his brother Leo, even though they play second and short, and they're 2 great hitters for Darien.
Yeah, both very, very, very speedy. And it shows in their fielding abilities, quick reactions as well.
Ball low.
Not well known for his power, but he can lay down a bunt, especially in a 0 out situation with runners on first and second, put 2 runners in scoring position. That'd be huge here, especially with Luke Sibilio on deck. Wouldn't be surprised if Zawacki tries to lay down a bunt here.
Zawacki takes it. I do want to see what the count is here because I don't believe the first one was a strike, although it's possible he could have misseen it.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. I think even...
Oh, 2-1. So...
All right, there we go. Ump made it official. I think everyone thought it was a ball except for him, so.
Tom Zawacki just shrugs the shoulders on it. Like I said, the ball was in the dirt, so I guess they say Zawacki must have swung on it, even though he just stepped to the plate.
I never know. Different game every day. You play the game for a reason.
Osterhaus checks over on Garlamo at second, comes home. Ball 3 low as Bush drops it. 3-1 now, a hitter's count for Dom Zawacki. And Luke Sibilio stands on deck. Sibilio went yard against Norwalk on Saturday. But again, this is a very different situation here.
Yeah, because now being down 7-0, you don't have that mentality of, oh, I can free swing and maybe even swing for the fences, but he might just have to find solid contact.
3-1, Osterhaus. Ball 4 to Dom Zawacki. And the first 3 Blue Wave batters, and that ball's thrown over to shortstop. Garlamo was trotting to third, was not aware of it. And Westhill will dodge a bullet on a potential chaos error.
Definitely can't blame Garlamo there. After walking Zawacki, obviously you're not sprinting to the next base, but definitely something the Darien team could have picked up on and maybe stolen one from this Westhill crew.
Now Luke Sibilio steps in, the senior center fielder. Again, he hit a home run at Norwalk on Saturday, one that cleared the fences at Nathan Hale Middle School. Although the only difference is that field was more of a square. They had a soccer field out in center right fields, and it was very much a pointy center field, so not like Darien with the high fences and a true baseball fields. So he was able to crank one over the short porch in left fields.
Yeah, dead center at Nathan Hale is definitely on the closer end of 500 feet.
I'm sure 500 might be pushing it.
I know.
Called strike 0-2. Sibilio finds himself down.
What about Little League with Osterhaus?
We'll get there.
All right.
We'll get there. We've got all sorts of stories to tell here today.
For sure. Especially with this Sibilio-Osterhaus combo.
We'll get there.
I like hearing that.
0-2. Osterhaus throws back over to second. And diving back, just barely, is Tommy Karczewski.
Definitely safe in there, but Osterhaus is going to want to watch out for a balk. He was pretty close there. He's got to make sure he comes set. You let up a balk with bases loaded. That's just got danger written all over it.
Darien has scored 1 run this year off the balk. Sibilio fouls it off to see another pitch.
That one's in the trees there. Hopefully Darien can go and scout that one out. Try and save a few bucks. But it's definitely difficult in that forest.
Yes, it is. The foul ball all the way back into the swamplands of Darien High School.
Yeah. Been back there a lot trying to get the foul balls, and it's not too fun because you'll get a thorn right into your leg.
Osterhaus comes set on the 0-2, and he just fires it outside.
He's got balls to work with here. 1-2 count. Obviously knows that he has bases loaded and he can't just be free-nilly with the pitches. But definitely has something to work with here against Sibilio.
Osterhaus, the 1-2 pitch, strike 3 looking. Luke Sibilio goes down looking, and Westhill's got their first out.
Bases loaded, no outs, and Luke Sibilio goes down looking. Not a good feeling at all. But he needs to make sure he focuses on fielding because sometimes batters carry their emotions into the field, and then that leads to trouble of errors and just making mental errors, along with the obvious missed throws and other things like that.
Jack Nee just barely takes one inside. That was Osterhaus checking in, making sure he was awake here on, 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, sometimes at 5 o'clock I'm in a sleep, deep sleep. But sometimes when you're watching a game like this, also feels the same way.
7-0 our score. Westhill leads Darien. You're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Jack Nee takes strike 1. Braden Schenk, Austin Kippett with you. So glad you can be with us.
Very much so. Obviously, after that Zawacki walk, he wants to be careful of letting up another, but Darien needs to start swinging the bat a little bit more, try and create that damage that you see out of guys like Garlamo's bat. Jack Nee, he can definitely send one into the gap, but He needs to swing the bat to do that, and hoping to see him swing here as he calls time.
You can see Westhill's looking to keep the pace up here, keep Darien off guard. Darien has struggled to hit the ball so far. They had some life with Karzuski, Garlamo, and Alini back in the first, but it's been all Osterhaus out on the mound. Strike 2 to Jack Nee. Nee 1 for 11 from the plate this season. Under 100 batting average. That one hit came against Stratford, but it was a 2 RBI single, so pretty big time to get your first career hit.
I do definitely remember that. And you got to remember, he's young and he's a great defensive catcher. So he just needs to make sure he focuses on his primary job of catching, blocking, framing, everything that comes with catching. But, yeah, maybe he needs to start getting the bat going, or they might have to look another way and maybe try someone else and maybe toss him back in after a little bit of time with the bench. Hopefully not, though.
He fouls it off. I think our GoPro held up behind the plate.
Definitely did. It looks like another guy's camera almost got absolutely smacked by that ball. So he's lucky to have his camera. We're lucky to have ours. Never know. Never know when it'll be the camera's last day.
But what we do know is it's a 1-2 count that Osterhaus has.
Yes, it is.
The 1-2 pitch. Knee goes down swinging. So despite letting the first 3 runners on base, Eric Osterhaus has struck out the last 2, returning to the top of the Darien lineup with Leo Zawacki.
Diamonds in the Sky, Rihanna. Beautiful song. Hoping to have a beautiful swing come with it. Zawacki looking to do some damage for the Darien crew. 0 runs on the board so far for Darien.
Zawacki steps towards the ball, but instead takes it.
The Darien bats seem a little bit shy and intimidated from Osterhaus as he's been starting to lay up on the velocity and get pitches where he wants, but also gets them there with the velocity that he can max out at, typically hitting high 80s.
Ooh. Foul ball. Oh, no, and they're going to say it hit Zawacki.
I mean, based off that reaction, you could essentially immediately tell off the batter's reaction that it got him good.
Well, it was confusing because the home plate umpire put both hands up,
Yeah.
signaling maybe a foul ball. Normally, you let it hit him and you just let him take first base because people know it hit him. Once you put both hands up, you're signaling that
Yeah.
potentially it's a foul ball and a dead ball. So an interesting sequence there, but nonetheless, Zawacki does reach first base by the hit by pitch. Darien gets on the board 7-1.
Yeah, umpire definitely threw us for a loop there. Even one of the Westhill coaches was a little bit confused by what the home plate ump did, but it seems as if it hit Zawacki, and that's the first run for Darien on the day. That's if they leave him there.
I've had my fair share of these situations. I'm a fellow umpire. I've called some youth games, and Zawacki appears to.
Yeah, he might just have a dead arm right now. Might have gotten him in the elbow, which it looks like that's where it got him, and there might be some bad damage to Zawacki's left arm.
So the trainer will come over and meet with Zawacki, but we're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network. 7-1. Westhill still leads. Darien's got a rally going, and we'll see what happens when we return.
Yeah, hoping good things for Zawacki, hoping that it's nothing major, but who knows? We have the trainer coming out now.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
Zach Yusko has checked in the game for Darien in the place of Zawacki. So that's Leo Zawacki going down. He was hit by a pitch. It looked like off his wrist. He did bring home a run with the hit by pitch. However, Zach Yusko will now pinch run at first base. And Osterhaus looking to get back into his groove.
Obviously, do anything you can to get the run, but something like this happens. You can see Zawacki shaking his head no near the dugout, but hoping that he can heal off that soon and hope that there's no major injury to come with that.
With a guy that, like Osterhaus, that can throw 87 miles per hour on that fastball, it's definitely going to sting, especially if you get it off the wrong part of the wrist or if it hits a bone directly. It's going to leave a mark. And Zawacki's definitely feeling the pain right now, although he does have an RBI with it. Although I'm not sure if that's a fair trade-off.
That RBI can make it feel a little bit better, but if you get hit in that wrist or elbow area, I think it got him in the wrist area. It definitely helps a little bit.
Just wide, heading home is Karszewski. He slides home. The wild pitch, and Darien's got their second run of the ball game.
Karszewski with the pure speed. Speed kills, they say, as he comes across the plate and brings the second run of the game in. Will Smosky having a nice conversation with Westhill's catcher, and looking to resume play after that wild pitch. Osterhaus is trying to place it and just misses out wide to lefty Will Smosky. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch.
And a ball just outside. Will Smosky works at 3-1. And a good wild pitch that scores. Karszewski makes it 7-2, and Darien still has a lot of work left, however.
Ever since Zawacki got hit by that pitch, it's just been a revival for the Darien dugout, as they're just so much more louder than they were after letting up 5 runs, which obviously hurts, but they got the energy.
Called strike, just bullying it in there.
Osterhaus does have a base to work with, as first base is empty with Zach Yusko advancing on the wild pitch that took place for Zawacki. So hopefully Zawacki is all right once again, but best of luck to him.
Foul ball.
Another line drive a little bit above us. It's definitely a little bit scary, but we got a nice chain link fence in front of us. So only so much damage can occur.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
2 outs as well. So Osterhaus is looking to lay something in or get Smosky chasing, but Smosky, very good eagle eye, that's for sure.
3-2 pitch, Osterhaus delivers, fouls it back, and Smosky keeps fending off the at-bat here.
Got to fight the count. It's you get a strike, you're done, and then get back in the field. Smosky's case, he would go to third, and maybe he would be thinking about it a little bit more, and never know when that ball is going to come to him, and he's got to make that play. He might still be pondering about this at bat.
3-2.
But that will be determined here.
Osterhaus checks his sights and delivers. Smosky grounds this one up the middle. The shortstop. Hackett comes over, fires on to first. Hitland catches it. And Westhill stops the bleeding, not before they give up 2 runs. 7-2 Vikings lead on the DAF Media Network. Back on the DAF Media Network.
Westhill looking to continue their dominance here.
I'm so out of shape, man.
Little funny moment there.
Sterides
Tie up.
flies this one out in a right. Girolamo's there to make the catch.
Solid routine play for Girolamo there. It takes the basics to get out of an inning without letting up runs, and the errors doesn't say that. Darien team, pretty good fielding team, typically doesn't have a lot of errors, but today errors definitely have been a sword into their thigh.
It's the first time Darien's got the first out in an inning.
Got to start somewhere. From one inning to another, you gotta get one out, then two, then three, and hopefully you do that without damage.
Gattuso takes that one just outside 2-0.
How was your little cardio session?
Still feeling the effects of it.
Yeah.
Sprinted out to center field, had to fix our camera out there.
Hey, that's the dedication from Braden. So
I think one of those like heart rate monitors. I mean, it's racing right now.
hey, that's good. That means your body's working. Your body's doing what it needs to do.
Gattuso, ooh, at the knees.
A little low for a strike in my eyes, but one plate umpire, different view. Maybe he saw something I didn't. So Merritt with the 3-1.
Strike 2.
Beautiful pitch. Now it's another 3-2 count for this Darien Arsenal. And 3-2 counts have not been their friend, as we saw that with the walks with Jack Cunningham pitching and the likes of Merritt Hole.
Hole now, the full count pitch. Ground ball on the left side.
Will Smosky.
Smosky fires on to first. Alini a tie. The sweep tag, no good. And the third error against Will Smosky and the wave puts Gattuso on first.
As I said with their fielding, typically clean, but today it just hasn't been their day. They might just not might not see the ball well on this turf. Sun coming in from left field shouldn't be affecting the infielders and should be more affecting the catcher and batter, but yet here we are, third error for this Darien team.
Also do want to point out Zach Yusko now in the game at shortstop for Darien, overtaking Leo Zawacki, who did leave. Pitch down low, Neath throws on the second, and that is a stolen base for Danny Gattuso.
Good arm from Need, but not good enough. Gattuso, he's got the speed and also the accuracy from Need there. Obviously not perfect, but wasn't an error, so fundamentals. And they did it cleanly. Didn't get rewarded with an out, but
Fouls it back. Sanchez up to bat for his third at-bat of this contest. A single in the first, a fly out in the second. And now in inning number 3, he's back up at the plate.
for a third at-bat in 3 innings, that's all you can ask for as a hitter. You're just getting back out there inning after inning.
0-2. Ball just low. And hole now. It's a throwaway pitch. You have one, you might as well throw it. Use it up, especially with just a runner on second base.
Use it up, but he's been in a 3-2 count more than once, and if you use it up, you're going to be looking at coming out of the game a little bit sooner than he would want.
Hole watches back the runner, Gattuso.
No one there to receive the throw. Dom being the closest, but definitely was about 10 feet off from the base.
Ball outside, moving it to 2-2.
About Nathan Hale. Kind of reminds me of like field like Polo Grounds. Very deep center field, and you got those short corners.
I feel like a better connection would be the 2-2 pitch from Hole. Ground ball on the left side. Zawacki playing the shift. Fields it, goes over to Alini on first, and there's the second out. I feel like a better connection would make would be Eldridge Park on Cape Cod in Orleans with
Very
the
much
point
so,
in center
yeah.
fields.
I believe another old one, Sportsman Park.
Ooh.
That's it's definitely an oldie before our time and probably before some of our viewers' times, even if you're in your 40s or 50s. That was something like 1930s, so not a stadium that a lot of people know about. That one's high.
Ball taken high from Kieran Hackett. Hackett, the shortstop for Westhill, the senior.
He's got that number 2. You can only wonder if it's a Derek Jeter, Xander Bogaerts combo.
He takes another up high.
If you're a Yankee fan, you might be wearing it for Jeter. If you're a Red Sox fan, wearing it for Bogaerts. But obviously Bogaerts isn't with them anymore. But Bogaerts did get it from Jeter, so you can only wonder, did Jeter bring this upon him?
2-0, strike one, swinging. It's definitely an interesting connection. And he's a 3-year starter on this team, but he was actually moved from second base to shortstop last year after they lost an injured Jake Benner last season, who was one of the top players in the FCX, went down with an injury just about 4 games in, and Hackett was one of many guys that had to move their positions around, shift some things around, move from second to short, and now he's the new shortstop in the 2023 campaign.
Yeah, being versatile is crucial, especially at the high school level. You don't see a lot of guys like Otani where they can play outfield and then pitch the next game.
Lazy fly ball over on the left side, and
it drops.
That will drop. Hackett with an RBI single, falling right between Karczewski and Yusko, and the Vikings have their 8th run.
Another one that hurts. Obviously, good pitch from Hole. Just a little bloop, and it drops in that left field.
So Gattuso scores on that for Westhill's 8th run. Jorge Hitlin coming back in.
Hitlin looking to do damage with a runner on first, 2 outs.
The lefty stepping in. Fouls this one back.
Personally love a good lefty. Got guys like Ken Griffey Jr. You see a lot of beautiful lefty swings. Ken Griffey Jr., Shohei Ohtani, many more names. But what do you think of lefty batters?
I think they definitely have an advantage up there, especially facing a right-handed pitcher like Merritt Hole. They can see the ball better, see it off of the hand, and overall they're a couple feet closer to first base, gives them that a couple extra seconds to be safe.
Very much so.
Taking off for second is Hackett, and he throws down, and coming off the bag. Zach Yusko puts the tag on Hackett as he is caught down, and Jack Nee throws him out at second, although Westhill does get one more. It's 8-2 Vikings after 2.5. And we are back from the DHS varsity baseball fields. 8-2, Westhill leads Darien. Dylan Alini coming back into the right-handed batter's box.
As you learned before, we got sticks in the batter's box.
Alini takes strike one at the knees.
Dylan reminds me of a Gary Sheffield. He can kind of do it all in the field. Obviously not the best fielder and not the fastest, but he definitely gets the job done in the field. But then when he comes up to bat, he is slashing the ball.
Olaney fooled by the off-speed, takes it for strike 2.
Hey, good off speed. He's obviously going to Fordham for a reason, and if you're throwing 87 and you have a good off speed, it's a good combo to work with.
0-2, Dylan Olaney.
A little bit outside. Dylan Olaney taking the pitch. Good take from Dylan. 1-2 count, and Dylan's looking to do a little bit more damage. He's got to start off the inning for the Darien team with Simeon Dahl on deck.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Osterhaus fires it home. Olaney takes it just off the plate, and Osterhaus was looking for that throwaway off-speed pitch.
Osterhaus might be a little bit thrown off from that, because when you get a pitch that you think is perfect and that ump does not agree with you, it can kind of set you off and just take you down a wrong trajectory for pitching.
2-2. Ball just high, and Dylan Olaney has worked it back to 3-2 after he went down 0-2.
Osterhaus blowing out of his mouth there. I think him and the ump are coming to a disagreement a little bit, but Dylan Olaney here.
The 3-2 pitch. Osterhaus gets the sign and delivers. Strike 3 swinging. Olaney goes down chasing, and Osterhaus settles down to pick up another K.
Good pitch from Osterhaus, and number 5 with a great pick in the field while they're throwing it around the horn. So props to him. Props to him.
4th strikeout of the ball game for Eric Osterhaus. And now Simeon Dahl will look to get Darien's offense rolling. Again, this is really the lethal part of the Wave offense. Dahl in the 4 spot, Gerlamo at 5, Karczewski at 6. And he is fooled on that off speed.
Sometimes I do get a little bit confused with Simeon only being a DH. I know that he has the arm to pitch and play in the field, and he's got the fielding capabilities to maybe play first in corner outfield, but so far just a DH.
Takes strike 2 on that outside corner. Simeon Dahl, a player that just picked a bat back up this year. Did not play the first 3 years, and he decided for his senior year he wanted to give baseball a try. He was a star Little League player in Darien Little League, and after a couple of years off, he's now back playing for this Wave team. As he lines this one into the gap.
That's why he picked up the bat. He knows he can do damage like that. He's rounding towards second.
Dahl up at second with a stand-up double, and Simeon Dahl has himself another extra base hit.
Beautiful swing from Simeon Dahl. Perfect contact. Hits it into the gap just like Gerlamo did earlier. And now we have Gerlamo actually up. So Gerlamo looking to repeat what he did in his last at-bat and switch spots with Simeon Dahl here.
Also do want to point out with that Dahl double, he now extends his hitting streak to 7 games. He's gotten a hit in every single game for Darien this year. And that's exactly what you want from your 4-hole hitter. Now Gerlamo takes ball 1. Again, the first pitch he saw in the first at-bat, he lined it into the gap for a double. And now he's got a duck on the pond in second base looking to score Simeon Dahl.
Obviously that one he didn't like, so he didn't go swinging for it, and he gets rewarded. Ball 1.
Osterhaus lines that one. There was a catcher's interference on it. And the throw is just high. However, he will get to play it. And the run will score on it.
Save.
Simeon Dahl. Now, again, that's where it gets interesting. The catcher's interference. Darien has the choice to take the outcome of the play or 1 bases. And just like that, it will be a single with a runner. Or with a run for Darien.
Little conversation between the ump and Westhill's coach here. So, not sure what they're discussing, but most likely discussing the catcher's interference, as you pointed out. And Darien's obviously going to opt into just letting the play be how it was. Gerlamo safe at first, and runner scores. So Simeon Dahl now in the dugout.
Again, that's where it gets interesting, because even if Gerlamo hit the catcher's glove, it's a choice for the offense. They can take the result of the play, or they can take the catcher's interference penalty, which would have put Dahl on third and Gerlamo on first. But again, Darien's going to elect to take the outcome of the play, as Gerlamo will steal second with ease.
Speed kills. Speed kills. Number 4, Gerlamo, stealing that with ease. As that Darien dugout yells 3 for 3. presumably in reference for Girolamo's steal attempts to stolen bags this season.
This is actually his 5th stolen base on the season.
Hey, there you go. So 3 for 3 for something. We'll figure that out.
Osterhaus, the 0-1 pitch. Karczewski, a little weak fly ball, finds its way over to second. And that is a caught ball by Sanchez for the second out.
Karczewski swinging early, and not the result he or any of his teammates wanted. He was definitely looking to drive in that runner from second, switch places with him, similar to how Girolamo scored Dahl from second, but to no avail. Flies out to second.
New batter stepping in for Darien, and it's number 8 in Dom Zawacki. He takes strike 1. His brother Leo did exit the game with an injury back in the 2nd inning. So now Dom is the only Zawacki commanding middle infields.
Definitely the guy to do it. He's kind of stepped in as a leadership role in this team because COVID obviously.
Ball in the dirt, and that will get past the catcher Bush, moving Girolamo over to third. And Ryan Girolamo just stands 90 feet away from another Darien run.
As I was saying about COVID was a disaster with this program. The baseball team just couldn't work out and missed the now seniors missed their freshman season due to COVID, and then kind of took a step back talent-wise for this varsity squad. So they've needed leaders, and they got Zawacki as a junior.
1-1 from Osterhaus. Heads up. Curveball didn't come back. 2-1 now.
Pretty fast curveball, if you ask me.
Darien has plated 1 in this inning in the bottom of the 3rd. There's still a lot of baseball left, and Darien now only trails by 5 as they're looking to continue to score on Osterhaus. The 2-1 pitch. Ball low, 3-1.
After that first inning, we were most likely both thinking, oh, this is going to be a rough one for this Darien squad. But no, they bring the energy and they fight back, bringing the deficit to just 5, as Braden just said.
3 balls, 1 strike. Zawacki takes strike 2. Now will be a full count pitch about to ensue from Eric Osterhaus.
And I need to give credit to where credit's due for this Darien squad. The captains, Dylan Alini, Will Smosky, and Kevin Bach, making sure this team brings the energy every game they play.
The full count pitch. Fouls it back, and Osterhaus and Zawacki will live to see another pitch.
Catcher got a piece of that. It looks like it just nipped his arm, and he's moving around trying to get it a little bit loose after that contact. But as a former catcher, I can tell you it's not a great feeling, and sometimes it just nicks that elbow. And wow, do you just want to just? It's very, very painful at times. But what else can you do? That's your job. Block the ball.
Westhill will look to move past that. 3-2 Osterhaus. Getting his sign from his catcher Bush. Checks over on Girolamo at third and comes home. Zawacki fouls it off. Another bullet off the padding.
Osterhaus, he's definitely thrown some fireballs to his battery partner, but needs to find a way to get Zawacki to not make contact on his swing or just find a spot where he catches Zawacki looking. But Osterhaus looking to see what he can do.
Full count pitch. Osterhaus with the delivery. Zawacki fouls it off and sees another. The battle continues.
Nothing's really getting past Dom right now as he sends another one into the Meadowlands, as they call it.
Now Osterhaus will regroup. Zawacki is just hitting ball after ball from Osterhaus, being a little pesky up at the plates.
Got to fight.
3-2. Osterhaus looking for the put-away pitch. Ball low. Zawacki will reach first via the walk. And now, just like that, Westhill will call time and come over to talk with their pitcher, Eric Osterhaus.
A lot of words said from these Westhill coaches towards towards, I believe, the ump. But who knows? They're obviously not liking some of the calls, which I can definitely agree with them on both sides, I feel like.
And that's something that this umpire established the zone early on. It's
Without a doubt, and it's been consistent. That's all you can ask for, consistency of the strike zone, so you know what to expect, and you just have to adjust game from game.
So Westhill will now regroup. 2 outs in the inning. Luke Sabilio stepping up. The center fielder for Darien went down looking in the first at-bat, and now he's got runners on first and third here in this 3rd inning.
It might be time for Little League. Your call, though. Your call.
Osterhaus
It's
will
always a good story.
come back.
Luke Sabilio. Come on, baby.
First and third. 2 outs. Zawacki takes off for second. And you give him seconds as a ball called by our home plate umpire.
Yep. Catcher was definitely focusing on a frame there, trying to get the call because Osterhaus has not been getting calls his way as he and Westhill would feel. But definitely tried to frame it, and it looked good, but not good enough for the home plate umpire here.
Osterhaus checks back on Zawacki at second. Delivers home, and Sabilio with a bullet off to the right side. Just foul, however.
Good liner. If you can find a way to square that up and just have somewhat decent timing, it can possibly hit a gap. And that'll easily score Zawacki from second.
That's what Sabilio will look to do. 1-1. The count.
2 outs. They got one opportunity.
And Sabilio just a bit early on the off speed.
He was definitely looking to do some damage there on a fastball, and he definitely did not get a fastball, and it looked like it. But now he knows that he could be getting anything here, and he's not going to be set on one pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Osterhaus looking to get out of the inning. Delivers the pitch. Sabilio lines this one on the left side.
And that drops.
And it's down. Gerlamo comes in, coming home, and Zawacki the play. The play, there is no play. It's past Bush. Going to second. Sliding in with a double is Luke Sabilio with a 2 RBI double. And Darien cuts it down with 3-run ball game. Luke Sabilio with the big double. And just like that, Darien's got some life in him.
The bringer of water. What seemed to be a wasteland. He just decides to bring the water, bring the life. Now this wasteland is just turned into an absolute beautiful garden for this Darien team. 8-5 now as Darien looks to continue the damage with Jack Nee up in the box.
Nee will come on looking to continue this Darien rally. They have now scored 5 runs in here in the first 3 innings, and it's essentially a brand new ball game here as it's a 3-run deficit still in favor of Westhill. But anyways, the story you've been alluding to, Austin, we'll bring it up now here. I played on a summer ball team with Luke Sabilio. It was the summer of 2017. And when I got the notes from this game, I saw Eric Osterhaus was pitching. I remembered the name. He pitched against us that summer with Stanford North. It was Stanford North Darien. I remember the game. I went back through the old scorebooks July 1st at Cherry Lawn Park. He threw a 1-hitter against us, Eric Osterhaus. We lost the game, I think 2-1, I want to say, maybe 2-0. But we had 1 hit as a team, and that came from Luke Sabilio.
Yeah, Luke Sabilio, he's just magic, and he found a way to get another hit against Osterhaus here. And it was honestly a very crucial hit, just bringing so much energy and life to this dugout as they just continued to scream at the top of their lungs. So
1-1 the count to Jack Nee.
I look to see that all game.
Nee fouls it off. And for those of you wondering at home, I went 0 for 1 in that contest against Osterhaus. I did fly one out into right field. I thought I got some pretty good contact on it.
Hey, solid contacts, all that matters.
Hey, especially against the Fordham commit. At least I didn't go down swinging.
I mean, it was a Fordham commit, but
this also was
age?
6 years ago.
Exactly. There we go. But that's okay, as we got Jack Nee in the box.
Hey, we won the district championship, the summer 50-70 championship that summer.
Well, congratulations to you, but now we're on a varsity field commentating, so we need to...
Watches that one as it bounces behind a bush, 2-2, and Osterhaus is rattled right now. This Darien team is getting to him.
We need Jack Nee to have the same mentality as you, make solid contact, against Osterhaus. And maybe the story will be different. Jack Mee's got the pen in his hands, and he's looking to rewrite your old story.
2 balls, 2 strike. Eric Osterhaus now looking to get out of the inning. Checks back on Sibilio at second. Sibilio takes off for second. Knee holds. And the check down. And the home plate umpire is not checking. And no, he did not go.
A lot of yelling from these fans. Osterhaus not happy. Catcher was even pointing angrily out to the infield umpire that's just in front of second. So a lot of anger from this Westhill team. And it seems like they're under a lot of pressure.
And that's something where the catcher's got to come up and ask to check. And he was just pointing at the second base umpire. You got to wait till the home plate umpire checks down. Nonetheless, the full count pitch. Osterhaus, the delivery. Knee lines this one. And it's bobbled. The throw on to first, they still get the outs. Sanchez recovers, but not before Darien puts a 3 up on the scoreboard. It's 8-5 after 3, and Darien is surging. They got to play the defense now, and we'll see what they do when we come back on the DAF Media Network. Back on the DAF Media Network here in the top of the 4th. Jorge Hitlin checking back in for the Vikings as they look to get this offense back despite giving up 3 to Darien in the bottom of the 3rd. Merritt Hole, the Darien pitcher, out for now his 3rd inning of work. Hitlin, quick ground ball over to the shortstop. Yusko fields it, throws on to first just high.
Over.
And that is over the head of Dylan Alini. Another error on this Darien team.
That definitely comes with coming off the bench, not really being prepared to come into the game. Obviously unexpected with what happened to Zawacki. But unfortunate throw from Yusko and just seemed to sail, and you could kind of tell right when he threw it, right when he released that ball, that it was definitely going to go over Dylan Alini's head.
So the leadoff batter reaches first via the E6. And now this brings up Nico Kristen back into the plate. He swings and misses on the first one and will take his conference with his manager coaching third base. Mike Ravelis in his 3rd season leading this Westhill Vikings team. Took him to the FCAC championship 2 years ago and a state championship last season.
Also, definitely not a great feeling as a pitcher when you've let up, say, 3 hits for Merritt Hole's case, as Jack Cunningham let up 1 hit. And your team has 4 errors on the scoreboard. It's honestly very bone-chilling.
Showing bunt on it is Kristen. He's reached first twice via the walk, throws over, and diving back safely is Jorge Hitlin.
Don't be shocked if Hitlin tries to steal a bag here. He's definitely got the speed to do so, even though some would disagree. And quick pickoff from Hole Doesn't get him, but almost catches him off guard.
So Merritt Hole will now shift his attention right back to Nico Kristen. Number 4 for this Westhill team.
Another pickoff.
Another throwing over. Kristen, a All-FCAC West player a season ago for Westhill. And for good reason. He had a nice RBI single in last year's FCAC championship. I did want to correct that. Westhill went to the FCAC championship last year and the state championship 2 years. But still, head coach Mike Revelius has led this team to some great success in his 3 years as the Vikings manager.
Yeah, it shows, obviously, with this scoreline, A5, Darien has established themselves, considering how last year went for them. There's the swing and a miss strikeout from Merritt Hole. Merritt Hole, a good pitch to the outside, and just gets him swinging.
So there's out number 1 in the inning.
Crucial out number 1, nonetheless. Has a runner on first, which might be trying to go in the next couple of pitches. Jack Nee better be ready.
Hole fires on to first. Delaney doesn't even put a tag on him.
Another pickoff. One thing about the pickoffs, this would not fly in the MLB, as you were saying before. He did like 3 pickoffs before even throwing a pitch. So
eventually fires home and gets a called strike at the knees. Quito, the batter, stepping in. 0 for 1 from today. Took a walk in the first inning, then grounded out to the second baseman, Zawacki, in the second inning.
Can't complain when you get something like that. Merritt Hole looking down at Jack Nee, trying to lay one in. Good pitch from Merritt. Very good pitch. 0-2 count, 1 out. Jack Nee getting the sign from Coach Michelli.
So the 0-2 pitch. Merritt Hole checks right back over on the runner. Hitlin, and goes right back on the pickoff. The swipe tag from Alini, not able to get anything of it.
Not a huge fan of a lot of pickoffs, which obviously Coach Michelli's call here, but maybe one too many. Who knows?
Ball just low. And again, the throwaway pitch moves it to 1-2. Some fans still trickling into the DHS varsity baseball fields. Have to assume that means the JV game must have just concluded.
JV game with Coach John O'Leary.
1-2 pitch from Hole, and it's just high at the numbers. Umpire calls it a ball, moving it to 2-2.
The JV team also has young stars like Will Smosky's brother, Ted, and past Darien alumni, Brady Campbell, with his younger brother, Taylor.
Taking off for second. The hit and run grounds it right back to where Yusko was, and it grounds into the outfield. Karczewski comes over, and halting at third is Jorge Hitlin, and once again the hit and run works to perfection for the Vikings as they move it to first and third here in this 4th inning.
Perfectly executed. He gets that lefty batter. That shortstop has to cover second for the throw down, and he just hits it right into the gap. Now it's first and third. Darien looking to get out of it as Jack Nee signals to the infield what's going on this play. And even as an outfielder, you got to pay attention to the small things like that, because you might have to back up a base depending if it's getting thrown to, say, third or second, or if he doesn't steal, maybe a back pick. Always have to be aware.
Taking off for second, and Nee will fire on to second. So heads up play, although it goes over to Yusko, who wasn't even covering the bag, as it's still strike 1 to the batter, Jake Safer.
That definitely threw me for a loop. It was kind of like both the middle infielders were in between going and not going to the bag or in front of the bag to receive the ball, but thrown a little bit off target apparently. As there's a strike from Merritt Hole, gasses it right by him with the heat. Now he's got himself an 0-2 count, 1 out.
0-2, Merritt Hole looking to get the second out of the inning.
And looking to get out of the inning cleanly, unlike the first 3 for this Darien team.
Ball just low, gets past the catcher knee, thinking about it, but holding is Jorge Hitlin. And again, Hitlin batting 3, doesn't have the most speed on this team, and that's why he bats third. He's got the pop to the bat, and he holds up at third base.
Sometimes you just got to hold down that button and then pull it back if you're taken, which kind of gets in the pitcher's head, and then he's like, what is this batter going to do throughout the at-bat? And now it's a situation where Merritt Hole needs to sort of wake up.
And throwing in on Zafir. That's a check right there. Nonetheless, 2-2 the count moves to. Hole looking to get out of another inning of work. He came in the first inning when Cunningham got the first 2 outs. He got the third. He's been pitching ever since for Darien.
You can expect a mound visit soon.
Strike 3. Swinging behind it was Zafir. Another K for the Darien sophomore. And there's 2 down in the 4th inning.
Coach John Michelli very fired up with that strikeout as he was leaning towards coming out and talking to Merritt and Jack about what they want that battery to do. But staying in the dugout for now with 2 outs.
And Bush will step out. The 7th hole hitting catcher for Westhill. Bush, a player that was on this team a year ago, although he backed up Sullivan, and that is Connor Sullivan, the All-FCIAC first-teamer, who graduated last year, one of 2 big losses, and no call on it. He throws on to first, and there's an out. So it hits off the end of the bat, and Bush is thrown out at first. And Darien, just like that, gets out of the 4th inning. Talk about that, hits the end of the bat. Smosky makes the play on it, throws on to first, and just like that, Darien puts up a 0 on the Westhill scoreboard, but they got to continue to surge back in this game. 8-5, Westhill leads Darien. Zach Yusko coming up to the bat for Darien. The Darien bench player coming in the place of Leo Zawacki to bat at the top of the order after Zawacki left in the 2nd inning with an injury. And cold strike on the off speed. Zach playing in his first game of 2023, his first at-bat, in fact. But again, he is a talented Darien junior looking to make an impact in his first at-bat. A lot of people know him from his brother, who played on this Darien team a couple of years ago, the catcher, now off at, I believe, Villanova. Ball just low.
I believe Tommy Bach went to Villanova.
I thought Yusko joined him at Nova.
That's a nice combo for them, honestly. Two friends that know each other very well.
Could be wrong on that, however.
It's okay. It's okay.
I want to say Ryan Yusko, graduated class of 2021.
That sounds about right. Yes. Yes, for sure. Because 2020 was COVID, so yeah.
Actually, it might have been. No, it wasn't last year because he was a catcher. That's right. 2-1 pitch, strike 2 on Zach Yusko.
Yeah, 2021. That definitely sounds right because 2020 COVID.
Yep.
And then Yusko, obviously shining bright with names like Tommy Bach. So.
Yep. 2-2 the count from Osterhaus. And it's a ball in the dirt. Was trying to get Zach Yusko chasing. He does not give.
Definitely a young bat in the lineup coming in. Being the bench warmer. It's a term that starters like to throw around because they know that they get playing time. But when you're on the bench, not so much.
And yes, he did. That's strike 3. Yusko went around, and that's how Osterhaus gets the first out in inning number 4. Zach Yusko tried holding back. Instead, just flicked the wrist a little too much, broke the plane, and Yusko goes down swinging in his first at-bat of 2023.
Very much so. But now we have Will Smosky.
Fans cheering him on. Will, a senior captain on this Darien team. He grounds this one just over the head of the pitcher. And Smosky out by a step. A great play by number 2, the shortstop, Kieran Hackett, running over and firing on a gun Smosky at first base for the second out.
Very good by Hackett, charging the ball on a chopper, allowing them to facilitate the second out of the inning. And that brings up Dylan Alini. Sticks. Dylan Alini looking to do some damage, hopefully.
Pitch from Osterhaus. Alini takes strike 1. Again, Dylan Alini started the big rally in the 3rd inning in which Darien put up 3 runs, although he went down swinging to get the rally started. It was the first batter of that. It wasn't until Dahl hit the double to really get the troops going, and Dahl stands on deck.
Sometimes you got to walk to let others run, and that's exactly what Dylan Alini, the captain of this Darien varsity baseball team, did for Simeon Dahl and the rest of the hitters that inning.
1-1 Osterhaus with the delivery. And Alini is just late on it. Actually, just early, rather. Don't know what I'm saying.
It's about to correct you, but you beat me to it.
I know what I'm doing.
Unfortunately, I would have liked to facilitate my words off that, but it's okay.
Osterhaus steps off, looking for the first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. And now Bush will come over to talk with the pitcher, Osterhaus.
Sometimes you just gotta calm down your pitcher in tense moments where they feel as a catcher that the pitcher might be a little bit out of balance.
And Alini takes the heater up high.
And that's showing the little bits of inconsistency in his pitches. When he's feeling some pressure, he might throw it up a little bit, and obviously at head level of Dylan Alini.
2-2. Alini, fly ball, out into center, chasing this one down is Quito, and it's the right fielder calling him out. Gattuso makes the catch, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. Westhill ends the 4th, leading by 3. We'll have the 5th when we return. Nico Saradades back into the batter's box. Fouls the first one off of the pitch from Merritt Hole. Here as we start inning number 5 in this contest between Darien and Westhill. Braden Shank and Austin Kippett with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. It was a game that Westhill got off to the early lead to put up a 5 spot in the first inning off the Darien starter Jack Cunningham, and a Westhill offense that has shown no sign of weakness as they put up 8 runs in the first 4 innings. But Darien, Austin, they came back in the second, third inning, scoring 5 runs, cutting it down to a 3-run difference. But there's still a lot of baseball left to be played here on this Monday afternoon.
Yeah, and when you have 4 errors.
Fly ball, Gerlamo watches it off the batting cage.
Yeah, four errors is definitely not a number that you want to be seeing on a scoreboard, whether you're the home or away team when it's on your side, because that means those errors lead to runs, and unfortunately, when it shows the runs, doesn't matter how you get the run. Run is a run, an error is an error. Mistakes happen.
Darien has committed an error in all 4 of the innings. They've had 1 in each inning, so they've yet to have a clean inning so far in this ball game, and it definitely comes back to haunt the teams as they move into the later half of the games. But 2-2, Merritt Hole looking to work back in this count. Hole with the pitch. Ground ball. Alini diving for it. Makes the stop, fires on the hole, and it's just high. And knee comes over for the safety. But just like that, once again, Saradades will reach first via the single on it. And now this brings up the 9-hole hitter, Danny Gattuso.
Dylan Alini almost makes a star-studded play. Good dive from first, but just not enough to make the play. Had to rush the throw and just a little bit inaccurate. Went to Jack Knee.
And they give him the error on it, which I think is interesting. Although I'm not sure if that was necessarily a routine play.
Definitely was not a routine play, but he did make the stop, and he had enough time to make a calm throw, and he rushed it.
Showing bunt, pulling back is Gattuso once again.
So that's now an error in every inning once again, and we're now in the 5th. So.
And this is the style of baseball we saw from Darien last year, the errors and the leaving guys in scoring position and throwing over his hole. But again, that was been the main difference between Darien from last year and this year, is just the defensive presence was much better this year than it was last year. I mean, Darien was making 5, 6, sometimes more errors than they did hits in games last year. And once again, they now have 5 errors with only 4 hits. So it's coming back to riddle this Wave team. Bunting this one up in the air. Smosky will throw this one over to second. Yusko catches it and holds on to it for the fielder's choice. So the sack bunt does not work for Gattuso. Instead of fielder's choice, Yusko fires out Saradades, and that's the first out of the inning.
I will say something I realized on that play. Merritt Hole, I feel like he could have possibly made a catch and thrown it to first, and he would have 2 outs here. But Merritt Hole just didn't go for it. Might have been out of his reach. He would obviously know the situation better than I would, but I feel as if that play should have possibly been made for a double play.
Ball back over to the runner, Gattuso on first, as this brings Jonathan Sanchez back up, the 5'4" right-handed infielder. Sanchez, a speedy option for this Westhill team, really commanding the offense from the 1 spot. Hole once again checking on the runner, Gattuso at first.
Donalini trying to be a little bit sneaky with how he's applying the tags. Sometimes he's waiting for the base runner to kind of push himself up and maybe catch his arm off the base for just a split second.
Knee blocks that one in the dirt. First pitch to Sanchez. Good block from Jack Knee. He's had quite a few of them this afternoon. But again, the Darien sophomore, first-year starting catcher, doing a good job protecting the dish for Darien. Knee with the delivery up high on Sanchez. This moves the count to 2-0.
Very good defensive catcher, as I stated before, but just needs to find a way to find a consistency with the bat, and he could find himself a very crucial member of this Darien squad.
Taking off is Gattuso. Sanchez on the hit and run past the diving Dylan Alini. Gerlamo will pick it up. Gattuso will reach third as he fires on just past the cutoff man, Yusko, and Smosky comes over for help. And actually, did that go out of play? Oh no, Smosky calls time with it. Nonetheless, first and third for the Vikings after, again, the hit and run works to perfection for this Westhill team. It's almost like bread and butter at this point.
Honestly, it's peanut butter and jelly. Because you need that bread to be with the peanut butter and jelly. But it's just, you can't have one without the other. And it seems like their practices, they've put a lot of effort into attempting hit and runs. And it's obviously paying off in the long scheme of practice makes perfect.
And again, that's something that has now worked 3 times for Westhill. They send the runner in motion, and they place the ball exactly where the fielder was moving out of. So, I mean, I don't know how they keep doing this, but they have been doing it to perfection, it feels like, so far this afternoon. And that's part of the reason they have 7 hits in this contest, hits in all 5 innings.
When I stated that they were yelling 3 for 3 in the Darien dugout after Ryan Gerlamo stole a base, maybe they were seeing the future of hit and runs from this Westhill team.
So, nonetheless, Merritt Hole will settle back in on the bump. Runners on first and third, 1 out in the 5th inning. Knee fires on as Zawacki cutting, was looking to fool the Westhill team. Instead, they don't do that, and it's just a ball.
Very well-known play for first and third fielding situation. So you don't catch that runner going off a third too often, but live situation is different.
Ball up high to Kieran Hackett.
A little bit high, a little bit outside for Merritt, but just needs to calm down. I know he's in a pretty difficult situation once again in this game, but he did hold them to 0 runs last inning.
And a ball up high as Hackett leans back, sells the call. 3-0 now. Hole faces.
Catcher Jack Knee framing it well, but just not well enough for the ump's liking. Maybe he saw too much movement with the frame. Can't really speak for him.
Foul ball, that hit off someone.
Pretty sure that went off the mask of Jack Knee. That's a good way to wake up the catcher. He's been pretty awake, though, defensively. Defensive blocks. Completely astounding what he can do behind the dish.
3 balls, 1 strike. Hole looking to work back in this at-bat. In a game that Westhill led early and has not let anything up. Hole with the pitch. Fouled back once again off the bat of Hackett. And now we see the battle, 3-2. This is where the mind games are played, Austin.
Merritt Hole's doing exactly what he had to do. He was putting himself in a ditch, and he's slowly crawling out of it. And it looks like his head's peeking out a little bit. So now hopefully he can establish his feet on the ground.
Foul back. Oh, good one-handed snag by Knee.
A little grab by Jack Knee. A little nasty. Like stuff like that. Pretty clean, even though it does nothing for the team. A little bit of charisma added.
Lefty Hackett digs back in. The 3-2 pitch from Hole. And inside, ball 4. Hole lets up another runner, and it's now bases loaded with only 1 out. Jorge Hitland coming back in.
I am surprised by the fact that for the initial lineup of the infield, they had Dylan Alini and Will Smosky on the corners, which that I completely agree with. But I feel as if Zach and Dom, they should be playing for a double play ball. It's just a perfect setup for them.
Nonetheless, Merritt's day will come to an end. Does a good job out of relief. And now Owen Tyler will come in, and we'll tell you more about Owen when we return on the DAF Media Network.
new pitcher to tell you about. That's Owen Tyler, the junior for Darien, wearing the number 15. Tyler coming in the place of Merritt Hole. Owen, he's pitched 2/3 of an inning this year, both coming against the Stratford Devils. Pretty clean inning, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and now he'll see a second game of action out for the Wave, the right-handed pitcher for Darien. And Austin, what do you think he's looking to do here with bases loaded, 1 out here in the inning?
Obviously, in the ideal world, he's looking to get out of this with a nice double play ball, but nothing's ever perfect, so he's going to have to find a way to work himself around this trouble, which most relievers typically are called upon to do. So with 1 out on the inning, Mr. OT, they call him, Owen Tyler, looking to get out of this inning with a donut on the board for Westhill.
Again, you can't close the book just yet on Merritt Hole. He went 3 1/3 innings for Darien. Good job for Darien to come out of relief, especially when Jack Cunningham only went 2/3 of an inning for the Wave, and he came in, took him all the way to the 4th inning. But that's now where we stand as Tyler comes on, 1 out in the inning, bases are loaded, and the number 3 hole hitter, Jorge Hitland, steps in for the Westhill Vikings, and he's reached base 2 out of his 3 at-bats.
Great on-base percentage. Looking to raise that even a bit more to 750 if he can do something here.
First pitch from Tyler. Ball just outside.
Couldn't tell you where that pitch was.
And the umpire's been calling it tight on the outside corners all afternoon. And now Tyler will learn firsthand. Second pitch coming to Hitland. He lines this one just over Zawacki's head. Gerlamo comes over, 1 run scores. And Alini cuts it down. Just 1 run is all Hitland will get, but the Vikings have their 9th, thanks to an RBI single from the big 1-6.
Not a bad relay from Gerlamo to Dillon, only allowing 1 run to score there, which could have easily had 2 score if it weren't for Gerlamo and Dillon on that play.
So Owen Tyler comes up, gives up a single on his first batter, and now Darien finds themselves back down by 4. Kristen behind that one. Nico 0 for 1 in this afternoon's contest. Went down swinging in the 4th inning, thanks to as well as 2 walks in the 1st and 2nd innings.
Ups and downs with everything.
Pitch from Tyler. Kristen takes it low. At one point we haven't talked about yet, Austin, this Westhill team is so dominant on their pitching staff. When you look at their 1-2 punch of Kyle Kipp, the Boston College commit, and Eric Osterhaus, the Fordham commit, it was a big question mark for Westhill coming into this year is how would the offense produce and aid that pitching staff? And I would say after this performance today from the Vikings, they're picking up exactly where they left off last year.
Yeah, and today we don't even get to see a performance from Kyle Kipp, excuse me. And he's obviously a very dominant pitcher in this FCAC group. So not seeing their number 1, but definitely seeing their number 2. Definitely very well done from definitely well done with the 1-2 combo. That's for sure.
It's one of these games for Darien that if you look up at the scoreboard, if you take off the 1st inning, what they gave up the 5 runs, maybe cut that down by a little, they're right in this game right now. And it's a tight back-and-forth game. It's just that 5-run 1st inning really killed the Wave, and it kills the momentum of the team that you got to play behind when you haven't even gotten at bat yet. Nonetheless, it's Kristen, fly ball. And it will be Gerlamo coming over. He catches it, fires on to home, and the good throw will keep Sanchez over at 3rd.
Runner faked the run from the 3rd base bag, tagged up, started running, and then just went straight back to the bag after Gerlamo threw it.
And now the brutal sun will set in just over the school on the left field side, so it's going to get in the hitter's eyes, so it's going to start becoming more of a pitcher's game. Although 14 runs, I'm not sure if you would classify as a pitcher's game.
Not at all. Not at all. Definitely hitter's game here so far.
Ball 1 low.
Typically, I do like watching a pitcher's duel, but still a very much pitcher's duel when it gets into the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning, because you kind of have to close out the game and turn off the lights, close the door.
Armando Quito, the batter for the Vikings. Takes
the strike at the knees. Armando, the 18th ranked sophomore outfielder in the state of Connecticut by NBR.
I didn't even know they had rankings for stuff like that. You just seem to find the stats that fall into the gaps.
I always do. It's my job.
I know, but somehow you seem to amaze me with what you can find.
Armando also the lone returning starting outfielder for this Vikings team. They graduated their other two last year, so Armando coming back and really commanding the Vikings offense in center fields. Did a good job on the defensive end, looking to get another hit on the board with runners on the corners. Or actually bases loaded, my apologies. And that's a strike right there at the knees, and Quito now finds himself with a 2-2 count. He'll come over in conference with the manager, Mike Ravelis.
Yeah, he was ready to flip the bat there, but I don't know why. Would have been a 3-1 count, would it not?
Would have.
Okay. I think he's thinking he has a 3-2 count here.
2-2.
I know, but I think he's thinking he will have a 3-2 count.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of hoping I see a nice bat flip after a false walk.
Line drive. This one gets down just over jumping Zach Yusko. The throw home from Karczewski. And once again, holding it to 1 run. But Armando Quito with the RBI single. And Westhill gets back to their scoring ways.
When Tyler comes into this game, not something you want to see from a pitcher's point of view, especially from Coach John Michelli. But you got to take the good with the bad, and Merritt Hole had to come out of the game after performing very well considering what he was thrown into. So OT looking to get out of it.
These runs are all being credited to Merritt Hole. The first batter that Tyler faced was Jorge Hitton, number 16, who currently stands on second base. So Merritt Hole is getting a couple more earned runs to his name. Again, in an inning that Darien is looking to get out of. Westhill's already scored 2, looking for some more. A fly ball up into center.
Should be Sibilio's ball.
Sibilio calls off the right fielder, makes the catch, and that is how the 5th inning ends, but not before the Westhill Vikings put up 2 more. The big hitters of Simeon Dahl, Ryan Gerlamo, and Tommy Karczewski come up to bat when we return to the bottom of the 5th on the DAF Media Network.
Very exciting.
And Simeon Dahl trots up to the plate, looking to start a Darien rally. Got the double in the 3rd inning to get the Darien offense going.
He's got that ready on lefty matchup, so hopefully something Simeon Dahl can capitalize, but he's got the sun in his eyes, so be careful.
1 for 2 from the plate, had the double last inning, grounds this one over to the first baseman, takes a big hop, fielding it, and Hitland, the dive, and he's out.
Dole went diving to first, but the umpire calls him out. And the 3-U is the first out in the 5th inning.
I don't want to say another questionable call, but definitely pretty close there. And it looks like Jose Serrano had a few words with him. That conversation's still going, but something to keep your eye on.
So Osterhaus gets the quick first out. Now Ryan Gerlamo will trot in. Gerlamo takes ball 1 just low.
Question for you, Brandon. You got Osterhaus in this game so far, and it's bottom of the 5th. He's let up 5 runs. Can you really be mad with a performance like that?
Especially when your offense scores 10 runs, you really can't be mad. As Gerlamo lines this one down the third base line, it's a fair ball. Gerlamo rounding first. He's heading for second. Chugging for second. Gerlamo still wants more. Struggling to field as Kristen and Ryan Gerlamo reaches third with a stand-up triple.
I say it again, I say it again. Speed kills. Ryan Gerlamo, another extra base hit to add to his total. Absolutely beautiful as now Tommy Karczewski steps up to the box. Osterhaus needs to collect himself. He's already let up 5 runs this game. Obviously nothing close to Darien's 10, but
how about this for a fact? This is the 3rd game this season for Darien that Ryan Gerlamo is just a home run shy of the cycle. He had a double in the 2nd, a single in the 3rd, and now a triple in the 5th. I mean, he's just missing the long ball, and he's got his first career cycle.
I'll tell you what, that 7th inning is going to come around. He's probably going to get a chance.
Karczewski out a little in front of it, just over the Westhill dugout. Little chopper from Tommy Karczewski.
Coaches were hoping they could field that one, but didn't get the chance, unfortunately. Always fun when a coach fields a ball and their players can cheer them on as they do it.
Oh, 2 pitch from Osterhaus. Karczewski goes down swinging. A big out number 1 or out number 2, and now Zawacki stands in as Osterhaus looks to get out untouched.
Ring him up, put him in the ringer. Tommy Karczewski goes back to the dugout, swinging a miss. But here's Dom. Dom looking to do some 2-out damage.
Zawacki 2 walks to his name this afternoon on the smaller side for this Darien team. And he uses that to his advantage as takes 2 walks in this game. He's got 7 on the season.
Coaches want Osterhaus to keep his arm alive and kind of get through this inning quickly with already 2 outs.
Foul ball from Zawacki. Now moves it to 1-1. And again, next inning would be a crucial one for Darien. They only play 7 innings, so they would move to the 6th inning, trailing by potentially 5. And they especially don't want to leave that runner out on third base when they've left 4 runners out on the bases already today.
When you have runners in scoring position, you need to find a way to score them, with no doubt in my mind.
Called strike. Zawacki tried to make himself smaller on it to get the call. Instead, it's strike 2.
I don't care what level of baseball you're playing at. You can play at any level. If you're leaving runners in scoring position and on base, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Oh, 1-2 pitch. Zawacki lines this one over to the shortstop, fielding it. Hackett fires on, and Hitland with the scoop. Westhill gets out of it untouched. Hitland with the big scoop at first, and Darien leaves Gerlamo stranded on third, and now they return on the defense, looking to get a 5-run comeback in the later part of this game. We'll see if they can do that when we return.
Absolute beautiful pick.
Lance Bush back in the batter's box for the Vikings, leading off this top of the 6th in a game that Westhill leads 10-5. You're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Owen Tyler, first pitch up high. And again, the strike zone not being able to be found by these Darien pitchers. So far, 5 walks in the contest, but 10 runs given up, although only 4 of them earned in big part to the 5 errors that Darien has committed in the field, 1 in every single inning so far today. And Austin, that's not how you win ball games.
Definitely not. And as a head coach, Mike Scott, he might just be thinking what they would be doing during practice, which it might be a lot of running and fielding.
Ball in the dirt as Nee gets it right there off the blocker. What are you thinking? He's going to do a Herb Brooks style practice? Just pull the whistle out?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, not that far?
It's more like live situation, have the fast guys run around that can run very well, so not Dylan.
Wow.
But Dylan would have to work on his catch at first. Yusko, a couple throws from short, and just get everything together fielding-wise, because they've been good all season, just kind of fell apart this game.
It's really been a different Darien team, a full transformation they saw during the offseason. They went 4-16 last season and 4-13 the year prior, so this is already Darien's best season since they've had in since 2019, and if Darien can find a way to make a comeback today, it would be their first 6-1 start since 2018, which they won the championship, an FCI championship in 2018.
Well, fun fact, Mr. Devin Kippett was a part of that team, actually, along with guys like Arthur Xanthos and Sean O'Malley.
Is that the year he had the walk-off hit in Bridgeport in the left field against Wilton?
I believe it
I
was.
can tell you. 2018, no, they beat Staples. Yeah, it still was, I think, the walk-off fly ball in the left field. Good shot from O'Malley back at the old Harbor Yards.
You always love it. Love to see it.
Not sure what they turn it into now. Maybe a concert venue?
Sometimes they just tear things down and turn it into condos.
I drove past it the other day, and there was definitely something standing there. Just it was not a baseball field anymore.
Sad to hear, but at least the area is being used for something.
Fly ball, this one out into center. Sabilio tracks it down, makes the catch, and there's one out in this 6th inning.
At this point of the game, this sun is starting to play a huge factor because it just barely gets into your eyes, and it's always bright until it drops below our school building. So just waiting for that sun to drop below the eyes. The hitters, they can't wait any longer at this point.
Danny Catuzzo coming back up for Westhill. He fouls off the first pitch. He's had an interesting day at the plate. Went down swinging in the 1st inning. Reached on in the 3rd inning via an E5, and then in the 5th inning via a fielder's choice in which he tried to lay down a sac bunt, but the pitcher threw on to second. Actually, Smosky threw on to second, got the out there. So an interesting day for sure for Gattuso as he goes around a little too much to make it 0-2.
Also, I think we have 2 happy birthday wishes. One to Damien, who just turned 50.
On Saturday.
Exactly. Big reason why this program is really all together with guys like you. He's been able to kind of mold you into who you are and how important you've become to DAF Media.
Of course, that's the great Damian Andrew, the DAF Media advisor. Want to wish him a late happy birthday. He spent his 50th birthday traveling down to Maryland with us to broadcast the Darien High School girls lacrosse game against St. Paul's School for Girls. Darien won that game 13-12. Great game. It was a long day on Saturday, to say the least. I know me and you were both there, Austin. 4 hours to Maryland. A game that was in a 2-hour weather delay, so 4-hour game, and then a 4-hour trip back. It was a late night, but you know what? We got it done, and anything for the viewers of the DAF Media Network. And they sent us home with some cake, so.
Fun car ride all together. That's all that matters.
2-2 from Tyler. And strike 3. Gattuso goes down swinging, and there's 2 gone.
And the other birthday wish, actually, is one of the Westhill coach's dogs, Boomer, named after the legendary pitcher. Would you like to?
I'll leave this one to you.
All right. Well, I'm blanking, so I'm blanking. Give me a second.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Mike Ravelis came over between innings here. Wanted to see if he could get a shout out for his dog, who apparently was watching from home, celebrating his birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a lovely thing when we get viewership from dogs. We love dogs here.
Although you forgot the punchline on it. You forgot who the dog was named after.
I know.
It's
I know.
your job.
I know. I'm thinking.
I wrote the name of the dog down.
I know. I know. I can picture the guy in my head. Okay.
Jeez. That was a ball from Tyler. Now it's 1-0. Fly ball, and that one's in the woods. This is Jonathan Sanchez back up to the plates. Sanchez working on a 2 for 4 days so far. He batted twice in the first frame, and then once in the third and once in the fifth.
I'm currently stumped.
You're still thinking about it.
My name, I think I'm going to come up with Roger Clemens as the name, but I will fact check that.
Well, again, it had something to do with the name Boomer.
I know it was a MLB pitcher, but just trying to picture who it was. And we go to the phones. Oh, and Tyler, set 2-1.
That one's lined. Short little line drive, and it's going to die in the outfield. Scoring on it is Bush. And another for the Westhill Vikings. An RBI single off the bat of Jonathan Sanchez. And it's 11-5. Bush scoring all the way from second on that. He read it off the bat, knew that Sibilio wasn't going to be able to track it down, and Sanchez has another RBI. As now Hackett steps back in, looking to continue the Darien rally.
To be quite honest with you, I can't find an answer to the question of who is Boomer. So for now, we'll go with Roger Clemens.
I don't think that's right.
I don't think it is either.
Well, that's a foul ball from Hackett.
I mean, if you have a test in front of you and it's a written response, are you just going to write nothing? Got to take the shot in the dark sometimes, as OT needs to get himself out of the dark. He needs to find the light switch and turn on the light here.
Ball up high, going to second, and stealing it is Jonathan Sanchez, although Kieran Hackett got another wake-up call.
Definitely a wake-up call, but more of a flop that you would see in soccer. It was definitely up there, but I don't think it was too close to him. He almost interfered with Jack Knee's throw, which would have been devastating for the Westhill side, but here we are.
So I do want to point out that Jack Knee was the start catcher as he catches strike 2 there for the Darien 12U District Championship team. Back when these kids were 12-year-olds playing for the Darien Little League. The last, and I believe the only time in the last 10 years, Darien has won the District 1 title. And they went on to the sections, fell up at Unity Park in the section. But I remember seeing a lot of their games, and you knew a lot of those kids were going to be star athletes when they reached high school. Tommy Karzewski, Jack Nee, Merritt Hole, the two Zawakis, a couple others. But that sophomore class for Darien is really a strong suit for head coach Mike Scott. They went undefeated last season in freshman ball, and now getting called up to varsity, they're still shining. And it's great to see the program that's really blossoming with 6 sophomores on the roster.
Very talented group. Very.
1-2 pitch from Tyler. Fouling it off is Kieran Hackett, a senior on Westhill.
One thing about these sophomores, when these seniors are gone, and even when the juniors are gone, who will be the captain? But it seems like they all have that potential to be a captain for the team and guide Darien possibly to an FCAC title.
Definitely be interesting. Return to the promised land as Hackett grounds this one over to Alini. He makes the clean play, flips it on to Tyler, and that's the third out. And Darien gets out of an inning without an error, although they do give up a run. They trail by 6 heading into the bottom of the 6th, looking to get the bats going. You're watching the DAF Media Network, and we'll be right back.
Eric Osterhaus getting ready for inning number 6 out on the bump. 95 pitches thus far, but he's pitching a gem for this Westhill team. Did give up 5 runs, but he's still going strong as now he faces the 8-9 one-hitters of Darien in Sibilio Nee and Zach Yusko.
Now this is some history that you said before. Very beautiful history. And Luke Sibilio looking to rewrite what he can.
Sibilio shows bunts. Luke had a 2 RBI double in his last at-bat against Osterhaus. That came all the way back in the 3rd inning in which Darien plated 3 runs. It was the last time that Darien scored in this contest. They've been kept at bay the 4th and 5th inning, and that's not what you like to see as you enter the last 6 outs of your offense, trailing by 6.
When you're trailing by 6, you just need to find a way to piece together small hits, and if you get those pieces of the puzzle together.
Ground ball. That's a foul ball.
About the puzzle pieces. If you get all of them together, you'll obviously complete the puzzle. And sometimes when you complete that puzzle, it's not even for a victory. It's more for just confidence and energy, and putting it all together equals just having that confidence going into the next couple of games that they can come down from a deficit.
The 0-2 pitch from Osterhaus. Fouls it back. And the battle now ensues between Sibilio and Osterhaus. Luke Sibilio won the last one. Osterhaus won the first battle. And now it's the rubber match here in the 3rd at-bat for Sibilio.
And even if Sibilio loses his battle here, if you go 1 for 3, you can't really have your head down low.
The pitch. Strike 3 swinging. And that's a big first out for the Westhill senior.
And as they throw it around here, I would like to correct myself. David Wells, the MLB pitcher.
You just remembered that?
Yeah, Google definitely did not. So thank you, Google, for correcting me. And here we are.
Now this is a pinch hitter. Jamie Buckjune, the backup catcher, coming on. Pitch number 100 from Osterhaus is a strike in the zone. Talk about triple digits. I mean, 100 pitches thus far is quite remarkable, and he's still going strong.
I mean, if I had to throw a baseball over 100 times, I wouldn't be able to. Wiffle ball, I'm a little bit more lucky.
I've seen you throw a wiffle ball 100-plus times in a game.
Unfortunately, I have. Unfortunately. And the weird thing is the arm felt fine, so maybe the same case for Osterhaus. So here we are with almost 102 pitches.
And the curveball inside, they did not get the call on it. That one looked good, although Osterhaus will now need to regroup.
Very well-placed pitch. You can't be mad with that if you're Osterhaus or even the coaches, but definitely it builds up after a certain amount of time, and they're definitely showing their anger.
Buckjune takes that outside. Again, Jamie Buckjune was the starting catcher last year for Darien, and this year kind of moved more to a backup role of Jack Nee. This is his first at-bat of the season, and Sean Brophy comes up on deck, so Darien just starting to use more of their depth here, more of their bench, and see what they have going forward. Ball low and works it to a 3-2 count.
Very young and solid bench that they can rely on to get maybe a hit or two. But their reliable starters did not have the game that they were looking for. 5 runs, definitely not bad, but 11 runs let up.
Strike 3. The ball on the outside gets Buckjune looking, and there's 2 gone in the 6th. A backwards K.
You can only look at the same pitch so many times until you finally get rung for it. Unfortunately for Jamie Buckjune, that was the case, and strike 3 on a pitch that he saw 3 times in a row. Sean Brophy now up.
So Yusko went down swinging in his first at-bat. Now Brophy takes over the 1 spot, flies up the first pitch he sees. There's Hitland coming over, and he will watch it out for the foul.
Just out. About 5, 7, maybe 10 feet out.
Way to make contact with the ball, Sean.
I will say with Brophy, I am liking the number choice. I'm a big Jorge Posada guy, so
Number 20.
number 20 is definitely very close to my heart. So
One strike on Brophy. He grounds this one over to the shortstop Hackett. Fires on to first, and Hitland's got it. Another clean
out
inning.
by just a couple of steps.
And now we head to inning number 7. The Vikings controlling a 6-run lead. We'll see what happens when we return on the DAF Media Network. A couple defensive changes for Darien as we head into inning number 7.
This might be a game that they're just trying to see who can get some playing time and see what works for position players. You got Jamie Buckjune now behind the plate. And
So it looks like Buckjune stays in the game. It's a plate catcher. I assume he's batting 9th. It looks like, I believe that's Kevin Bach playing
it
shortstop.
does look like Kevin Bach.
So I'm going to say Bach subbed out Sean Brophy in that one spot. Tyler's still pitching. He fires on a strike. Then the rest looks the same.
Fortunately, we don't have a great view of left field, so Karzuski could be out there. Karzuski might not be out there.
Wouldn't make much sense to do a double switch on it.
Very true, very true. Because Jack Nee and Brophy are not two guys well suited for the outfield, as they don't have a lot of experience with the outfield, as their primary positions are infield and catcher.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch from Tyler. That's a line drive.
That
Sibilia
is
watches it.
absolutely ripped.
And that is another one splitting the gap. Hitland rounds first and heading to
Will he go
second.
for 3?
And Jorge Hitland has his third hit of the contest. And that's a stand-up double.
Very well piece. Solid contact all around. And he displayed a little bit of power there, Braden, didn't he?
It did have some good power, and now Dom Baker will pinch hit in the place of Nico Kristen. So head coach Mike Ravelis making his first substitution, digging into his bench, bringing on the big senior.
Also another opportunity for Westhill to use some subs. In a game that's 11-5, final inning of the game possibly. And 6-run lead, you can kind of use those guys that are typically on the bench and get them some playing time.
Baker takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Owen Tyler looking to keep Darien in this game. Who was the famous rock singer? Was it Owen Tyler? I want to say Journey, maybe?
Journey does sound right, so do you want to go with it? Because I'll go with it. We do have a computer in front of us, so we can test our theories. Never know. Never know. Oh, I know who you're thinking. You're thinking of Aerosmith.
What was the lead singer's name?
It's something Tyler. Or it's Tyler something.
That might be right. Baker fouling that one back.
Yeah, definitely Aerosmith, but
Oh, no, I just Googled aerospace. That's not going to give me it. Was it Aerosmith?
Aerosmith, no spaces.
Steven Tyler.
There we go.
It's not Owen Tyler, Steven Tyler. Good thing we got to the bottom of that.
Hey, good thing I knew Aerosmith. So, Owen Tyler here.
1-2 from Tyler. And got him, fools. A masterpiece from Owen Tyler, absolutely fooling Baker off the bench, and he's got a strikeout for the first out in inning number 7.
They call that disgusting. Owen Tyler, beautiful off speed, gets him swinging, the senior, and he's swinging back to the dugout. So
Things straight out of a Steven Tyler music piece. Owen Tyler gets the strikeout.
very musical.
I mean, considering I just Googled aerospace, thinking that was
Yeah, I know.
Aerosmith, I don't think that's really puts me up there. Quito fouls it back.
Good music though. Good music though. Owen Tyler playing a symphony.
What is that? Welcome Nuts, Guns N' Roses. I don't know what songs they sing.
Are you gonna say "Welcome to the Jungle"?
I was going to, then I realized that was Guns N' Roses.
Oh
Great
boy.
song. All just time.
That's grinding my gears a little bit. You should after this game you should do your research on Aerosmith. And
I
you
did it
just
again.
typed
I did.
Aerosmith.
I did it again. I'm 0 for 2 on Googling Aerosmith.
Hey, don't worry. We have errors just like the Darien.
Oh, Dream
Varsity.
On. That was their big song. That one blocked from Jamie Buckjune behind the plates. And Darien will need to dream on and try to find their way back into this game in the bottom of the 7th.
I would love a good Dream On impression from you. Just try and hit that high note. But
We'll do that off camera.
yeah, Darien's at a pretty low point and low pitch right now. So
2-1 from Tyler. Foul back off the mask of Buckjune.
Buckjune. Yeah, that's that'll ring the telephone.
Buckjune was ready for it. Got his head in the game.
You'll feel that vibration for about the next four batters. Even if he finds a way to get back up again, even though he got out last inning, he'll definitely still be feeling some ringing.
Armando Quito, the 2-2 pitch from Tyler. Fly ball up in the air on the left side. Coming over is the shortstop, Kevin Bach. And he catches it for the second out. So the shortstop, Kevin Bach, picks up the pop fly, and there's 2 gone.
Love the eye black with K-Bach.
Although the funny thing was I was talking before the game for Kevin, and thought it was going to be an off day for him. I don't think he expected to be playing shortstop.
He did not at all. He was
inning.
very open to the idea of being interviewed, but here he is playing shortstop, 7th inning.
Tyler, the first pitch of the new batter, and this one's a rocket to left. And a routine catch by the left fielder, Tommy Karczewski. That's where we leave it. After 6.5, the Vikings lead 11-5. Darien looking for some late runs. They only have 3 outs to work. And we'll see what happens when we return on the DAF Media Network. Back on the DAF Media Network, and Westhill finally going to the bullpen after 108 pitches from Eric Osterhaus. They go on to the right-handed arm of Joseph Pasquarelli, the Salad Jr. First year on this varsity team, looking to finish this game out strong for the Vikings.
Sometimes the sounds of the game is just beautiful. You got a nice day, nice breeze. It's not too hot. You got the sun, some clouds in the sky, but not much. Pretty clear skies. And you just get parents cheering, players just being very interesting, to say the least, especially in that Darien dugout. They've got energy, being 6 runs down. Bottom of the 7th, Will Smosky.
Smosky looking to spark a Darien rally. Ball just high. Do want to give a shout out to our DAF Media production crew doing a great job bringing you all the sights and sounds in this one. Cooper Kelly, David Popson, and Kate Bogdan, our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew, Braden Shank, and Austin Kippett with you. So glad you can be with us on this Monday afternoon. And that's going to hit off the shoelace of Will Smosky, and the first batter that Pasquarella sees is greeted by a hit by pitch.
The Worms got to watch their heads, and I will say about those first 2 knuckleheads that you decided to say, we were putting in some good work, and they also put in good work. So they're fun knuckleheads. They know when to have fun, that's for sure. As we got Dylan Alini sticks up.
Pasquarella, 0-1 inside on Alini. Darien looking to potentially complete a huge comeback here in this 7th inning. They took Osterhaus out of the game, but they're faced with Pasquarella, who he can throw up to a 78-mile-per-hour fastball. He throws in a good 60 slider, so he's got a good mix of his pitches. And he fires a fastball just outside, missing the corner.
That's all you can ask from an underclassman. If he has a good pitch mix, you can work with him as a pitching coach and get him to where you want him to be on a varsity level, and have that talent go to possibly an FCAC final.
I mean, they were there last year. They fell in the FCAC championship to the Fairfield Ward Mustangs by the final of 4-1. And then again, the year prior, they went to the state championship where they fell to the 24th seeded Norwalk Bears by the final of 1-0. So this is a team that has seen great success over the last 2 years, looking to continue that into this year, but currently a rough stretch at 1-4, 0-1 in the conference. Alini takes strike 1, but at 3-0, down by 6, you're taking that all day.
Yeah, I completely agree, but definitely has to be salt in the wound for Westhill with those 2 losses in the states and then following year FCACs.
3-1 pitch. Alini takes ball 4. Pasquarella sees 2 batters, and he hits 1, walks the other. First and second for the heart of this Darien order. Simeon Dahl, Ryan Gerlamo, Tommy Karzuski. And this is where things get interesting.
Hoping the Darien bats can get a little bit fired up here. Have some ignition with these 2 leadoff hit by pitch and walk. So you got Simeon Dahl, who's going to be up here, and you know he has a lot of power, and he's been waiting to absolutely crank one into the gap of right center field as a lefty. Especially as a pull lefty, definitely pulls the ball more than he pushes it towards third base side. So I could see one going right center field gap.
Dahl and Pasquarella, a big at-bat about to ensue. First and second, no outs. Pasquarella finds Dahl. This one, fair ball. They get 1 on second, and they get the fielder's choice on it, the 5-4. And now it's first and third.
Everything that I say that is going to happen, it is quite the opposite as he pushes that to the third base side. So maybe if I decided to say Darien is going to lose this game, maybe that does not happen. So
see, I was looking for a call from the home plate umpire, and he was like covering his eyes from the sun. That's why I wasn't really sure what happened. And they threw over to third, got the out at second, getting Alini out, and now Dahl leads off first. Ryan Gerlamo looking for something up high. Gerlamo entering play with a .556 batting average, 10 for 18 this season, had 5 extra base hits, and again, he's a home run shy of the cycle, 7 extra base hits now. So he's had quite a good start to his first year on this varsity team.
I did say he would get a chance in the 7th inning.
And swings and misses on it, gets past the catcher Bush. Just going to second is Dole, and they now move 2 runners in scoring position. If you're Westhill, you're fine with that. Just calm down. You've got a 6-run lead. Those 2 runners mean nothing.
And also as Darien, you're more than happy with that because now the double play ball is completely eliminated, and Will Smosky did not risk getting out at home because that would have been a devastating blow to this Darien team as they're trailing 6.
1-1, Ryan Gerlamo in the right-handed batter's box. Pasquarella with the deal. Gerlamo takes it out. And you look on deck, Tommy Karczewski sits there. He's 0 for 4 in the contest, a fielder's choice, a pop out, and a strikeout. And that's a batter I think Westhill would like to take their luck against. But first they got to get there. Pasquarella getting his sign from Bush. 2-1 deal. Gerlamo lines this one, and it's up the middle off the glove of Sanchez. 1 run scores. Here comes Dole, and it's a 2 RBI single for Ryan Gerlamo, and the Wave cut it down to a 4-run ball game.
Well pieced, as that looks like that's going to be his final batter as they're making a call to the pen. So
Pasquarella pitches to 4 batters, walks 2, gives up a fielder's choice and a 2 RBI single, a 2-run outing given up for Pasquarella, and now they will go to the bullpen and welcome in the arm of, who's that, number 4, I believe, Nico Kristen. And we'll greet the new pitcher when we return, and he'll have Tommy Karczewski to first greet him. 11-7 our score. We'll be right back. Westhill once again going to the bullpen. This time they bring on number 4, Nico Kristen, the right-hander. Kristen, 5'11" infielder. He pitched 2 innings in the win against Hull on opening day, and now he'll look to save it out for the Vikings as they lead by 4, but Gerlamo's single put him on first, and Karczewski's up looking for some more.
Tommy Karczewski, excuse me, looking to carry some magic with this Darien team as Gerlamo stands on first. Darien's got 1 out on the inning, and it seems like Westhill has the idea that Ryan Gerlamo is going to steal here, which, honestly, the probability's there. Will he steals?
First pitch to Karczewski. Ball just up high. So Joseph Pasquarella entered for Westhill. He faced 4 batters, walked 2, gave up a hit, and gave up 2 runs on it, although he is still charged with that runner on first base or still has that in his memory, so his day's not done yet. Although there is a runner taking off and a high ball slips out of the hand of Kristen, and Girolamo takes second with ease.
One underappreciated name, Jose Serrano, first base coach, coaching these guys every step of the way and just making sure that they do all the small things right and just not the fundamentals.
Plus, he's got a good sense of humor, as I learned in the Norwalk game on Saturday.
He very much does.
Karczewski takes that one at the knees, moving the count to 2-1. Again, Darien needs to play flawless baseball from this point out. They have 1 out in this 7th inning, trailing by 4. Again, a game that they went down 7-0 after the first inning and a half. And they fought all the way back, but again, when you give up 11, it's tough for the offense to get going. Karczewski inside, moves it to 3-1. Standing on deck is Dom Zawacki, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks in the contest. It's going to be interesting if he comes up with a potential ducks on the pond situation.
One mistake is all it takes for Darien to be back in this game, as it's a 3-1 count.
3 balls, 1 strike. Kristen comes set and deals. Strike 2 at the knees. The throw on to third. And
seems like
that ball went into left field. Girolamo will score. The error against Bush, and the Wave add another. The throw from Bush just soared high of the left fielder, Safer. And the Vikings have the Wave have their 8th.
All it takes is one mistake, and that's a costly one, but how bad will it be for this Westhill side?
Karczewski, the full count pitch. He fouls it off. Heads up to the on-deck batter, Dom Zawacki.
Woo!
Now here's where it gets interesting. Westhill, I think, could benefit from this. The fact the pitcher can now pitch from the windup again. 11-8. They still have a 3-run lead, so no runners on base, nothing for them to worry about.
More relaxed, but definitely have that thought in the back of your mind about the error.
Strike 3, got him looking at the knees. There's 2 gone.
Unfortunate for Karczewski, taking one at the knees. Good pitch, good velo on it for sure, as that brings Dom Zawacki up at bat. Number 8.
Striking him out, looking for out number 2, a big first out for the Westhill junior. And now Dom Karczewski comes in, looking to extend this game, take strike 1 at the numbers.
One mistake for Darien would be costly, as it would be the game.
Darien now in the bottom half of their order. Zawacki, the 7-hole hitter. Takes the ball in the dirt.
Good eye for sure from Dom Zawacki, as he looks to pull this count from the dirt.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitcher, Kristen, with the deal. Ball just high at the eye level of Zawacki. And again, on deck is Luke Sibilio, who's a dangerous hitter for this Darien team. But then moving past that, you have the catcher spot of Jack Nee and Jamie Buckjune, who have combined to go 0 for 3 in the contest. Although Darien's just taking it 1 batter at a time. And, ooh, checking in on Zawacki for ball 3.
That may have been the first game all season where there was a chance for both Zawackis to be hit by the pitch.
I bet you could go through the scorebooks and find another.
This season?
No, definitely not this year. Strike 2 at the numbers. A big pitch right there, and Zawacki stays in the box, moving it to 3-2. 2 outs.
Very rough for this Darien side.
Kristen looking to win it for the Vikings. Strike 3. Nico Kristen with the save, and the Vikings will leave Darien with the 11-8 victory. Put it in the books. A big win for the Vikings, their first FCAC win of 2023, and the Wave dropped their first in the FCAC conference.
That's all she wrote for Darien. Darien obviously let up 5 in the first inning. Rough start from Jack Cunningham, but definitely fought back. 11-8, definitely not as bad as it could have been for this Darien side and team. They got to use some extra guys off the bench as well, so that's definitely beneficial for those young guys that are looking to get some starts in the game. And it was the game to do it.
Let's talk a little bit about this game. This was a game that Westhill got going early. They scored 5 in the top half of the first inning. It really started from the first pitch when Jonathan Sanchez lined one in the outfield for a single for the Vikings. Then they followed that up with 5 runs on Jack Cunningham before head coach Mike Scott made the call to go to Merritt Hole. Hole tried to pitch Darien out of it, pitched 3 2/3 innings. Pretty good baseball out there, gave up 5 himself. And a Darien offense that just struggled to get going. They scored a couple in the 7th, a couple in the 2nd, a couple in the 3rd. But the real star of today's game, Austin, Eric Osterhaus, 6 innings pitched, 108 pitches, 5 earned runs, 7 Ks. He kept Darien at bay all afternoon.
That's definitely some Garrett Cole type numbers. Just the earned runs was definitely a little bit on the higher end for a dominant start. Definitely the MVP of the game. But he definitely wants to try and lower that total run amount for the future games he pitches. He probably won't have another start for, say, another week. So he has plenty of time to throw a couple bullpens, get his accuracy down, and find that low spot that he was just missing a couple times, throwing it inside or outside to the batter.
Looking at your final numbers in this one, the Westhill Vikings defeat Darien. Westhill 11 runs off 10 hits with 2 errors. Darien 8 runs off 6 hits with 5 errors, Austin. That's rare for Darien to give up that many errors. They had errors in each of the first 5 innings in this contest, and it's tough for them to win games when you play, like that in the field, essentially.
When you play like that in the field and you let up those 5 errors, you don't deserve to win the ball game, to be quite frank. If you're making 5 errors and 5 innings consecutively, there's something wrong, and hopefully the coaches can find out the problem and try their best to fix it.
A winning pitcher in tonight's game, Eric Osterhaus, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits against, 5 earned runs against, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts off 108 pitches. The loss goes to Jack Cunningham. He loses his first in the 2023 season. Only 2/3 of an inning pitched, 1 hit, 5 runs, although none of them were earned technically. 3 walks, 1 K, and the save goes to Nico Kristen coming over for the last 2 outs, striking out Tommy Karczewski and Dom Zawacki to close the door on Darien's comeback and give Westhill the 11-8 victory. That will do it from us here at DAF Media. For our entire production crew, Cooper Kelly, David Popson, Kate Bogdan, our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew, Austin Kippett joined alongside me, saying so long from the Darien High School varsity baseball field. I've been Braden Shank. This has been a production of the DAF Media Network. Again, the Vikings of Westhill are your victors by the final of 11-8 over the Darien Blue Wave. Have a great night, everybody.